everybody.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. It's Monday. Let's delete that. I am Travis.
And this is Wrestling Gab, and we're going to be watching Raw. Boo. It's the fallout of what happened with the Elimination Chamber. Boo.
Great pay-per-view. Everybody keeps saying everything's so bad nowadays, and I'm like, you just have to accept how horrible wrestling has become.
Just accept it.
It's because of cancel culture. Get rid of cancel culture, and WrestleMania will be the best shit you've ever seen.
True. Walter will be in later for us. Film is out there. Sophie's with us. And Matthew is with us right now, and that's it. As Matthew says, why can't I find Raw on Peacock? And Sophie gave you the answer. Raw's on the USA Network.
It is not on Peacock.
That's why it's not on Peacock. It's not on Sci-Fi. It's not on Peacock.
It's not even on Peacock the next night yet. They're trying to bid on that, but they haven't got it that I'm aware of.
They're working on it. Sophie was letting us know that before. Ashlyn is in the chat. Hey, Ashlyn.
Hey, Ash.
Says, what are your thoughts on Jay White turning his back on Tama Tonga and Tangaloa? Is this the guy that's in AEW or Impact?
Yeah, he came over from New Japan Pro Wrestling. No idea. I don't know enough about his history, but I do appreciate you coming into the chat. But
I know that they had a pay-per-view this weekend. Is that when that happened? Was on the Impact pay-per-view?
Was he on Impact?
I thought he was part of Impact.
Oh, I thought he was
Chris
a
Akane
New
is in
Japan
the chat.
guy.
Hey, Chris. Says, hey, Travis Indy. Hey, Chris. How's it going, my man? And Matthew says, what the fuck? That is a damn scam. Is it, though? Is it
Rollins and
It's
Owens
always
join
been on
forces
USA.
tonight for a high-stakes matchup against RK Bro.
Who does? Seth and who?
Kevin Owens.
Oh, okay. His buddy.
Obviously, that's going to be a big deal, unless that's old. It looks like it's supposed to be tonight and stuff.
Sophie says, what are the chances that Cody Rhodes shows up tonight?
It could happen.
50.
50. That's pretty high. I would say 30.
Can or cannot happen.
Right?
It could or could not happen. There you go, 50-50. I don't know.
They don't have an actual link when you click on it.
Oh, well, that's fucking weird as fuck. They're like, oh, this doesn't work. Parts unknown of stuff.
Anyways, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar should be here, probably starting out the show, to be honest.
They are showing the highlights from the Elimination Chamber of Brock.
Brock going off script, kicking down the freaking door in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, according to sources after the fact, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Like a broken condom just coming out of there.
Ew.
Just spewing all over.
Impregnating everybody.
Yeah,
That's
with
just
his
nasty.
gloriousness.
That's gross. As Sophie says, with Bobby out for 4 months, who knows how that changed WWE plans for Mania. They were setting up Bobby versus Seth at Mania. They could save that for SummerSlam in July. With them doing winners take all at Mania, what does that mean for the brand split? I don't think it means anything. I think they'll keep the titles split still. And they can just have somebody else fight for just one title.
Something's going to happen. I do feel like they are going to put them together, at least for a minute.
I don't think they'll put them together, though. I still think they'll be separate titles.
It's not going to be one belt, if that's what you mean.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
It'll be two belts, but one champion.
Yes, and that's okay. I just don't want them unifying the actual titles.
Right.
Because that would...
They have done that before.
That wouldn't... I mean, in all reality...
The Beast!
That's not going to do anything for SmackDown, right? That's fought so hard to be what they are. So it would just be weird. He's there. There's a couple of headphone rubber thingies on the floor.
Yeah, I was looking for them because when I opened those pink ones, they just shot. And I see one there, but I don't know where
the other one's right there.
Ah, nice. I had to take them off this yellow set because I can't use the big ones that come with them.
Yeah, they're too big for your ear.
Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion, twice this year.
Look at that.
I love that he's with the kids now, all baby face.
But not at the same time.
Oh, he's still kick ass.
He's still like an asshole. He's all like nice to fans a little.
This is the Uber babyface thing. You walk around the outside. People would rather be on their phones and get a picture of him than touch him.
That little kid was
shit.
He even took the kid's hand and made him touch it.
Is he gonna dance for us? I thought he was gonna dance for her. That is your champion.
That's the champion.
In the old days, they used to have like snaps, and now the belts have what's that called? Velcro.
Oh, do they?
Uh huh.
Oh, weird.
See it? It still shows the snaps here, but on the other side, it's a big Velcro pad.
Oh. Sophie says, tonight marks episode 1500 of Raw.
Woo!
And Chris says, I think they might build up Bliss versus Liv at Mania, but I think it might just be on the pre-show at Mania, not enough build. As Chris says, Raw 1500. And Chris also says Austin should come out and call out Owens, but they just might want to pop for Mania.
Yeah. There's still a lot of room at WrestleMania for a lot of cards.
Lots and lots and lots of things can happen. Stevie says both Fox and USA Network don't want the brand split to end. They both want different rosters. Yes.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense. So Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, probably going to happen, or 80% chance, I would have said.
Yeah, I know Sophie's mentioned that a few times, that's probably going to be on their card.
Do you remember when they were talking to The Miz last week and he said he was going to go get himself another A-lister?
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Is that true? Or is that your guess?
No, it's not my guess. It's the rumor.
That's what's happening?
No.
Oh.
We don't know if it's actually happening.
I'm like...
But it makes a lot of sense.
Roberto Lozano's in the chat. Hey, Roberto. Says hello. Starting off Raw with Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
I'm getting hot here. I'm boiling, he says.
Matthew says, I feel like Dinero B is gonna return tonight.
Dinero B?
I don't know who that is. Who is that, Matthew? I don't know who you're talking about.
Dinero means
I
money.
can't figure out.
B money?
From this stuff. Sophie says that with the way Bobby lost the championship, it opens the door for them to revisit the Brock Bobby feud at some point this year. Yeah, we might be getting Steve Austin versus Owens. Possibly with the whole Texas thing. South Carolina.
They're all excited about that, Brock Lesnar.
Yes. Yeah, and the reason why Bobby has nothing to do with the concussion. He had some kind of surgery
Oh, shit,
issue.
Paul Heyman's there. Which we knew this was going to happen because Roman's probably not going to be traveling back and forth.
No.
So they should let Walrus Tits do both shows.
Mm-hmm. Luna's in the chat. Hey, Luna's like Suplex City. Hello. Clap, clap. As if it says that. And Vindicator's in the chat. Hey, Vin says, so I guess it's rodeo season for the rest of the year now for Lesnar. Travis, is he dressing worse the small-time Bex yet or what? No.
No.
I don't mind
it.
How Brock
you make
dresses.
sure that you keep me informed on what's happening.
You suck, as the crowd is saying about Paul Heyman. You suck. Ooh, a special counsel for the tribal chief, he says. Not suck. Speaking of which,
whining.
Yeah, he doesn't like being not involved, I guess. I don't know what his deal is. That's weird. The real heavyweight champion in WWE, he's trying to say. Ooh, as Gothlushy in our chat says, shut it, Paul. Chris says, LOL, Brock looks like he's ready for the George Strait concert at the Houston Rodeo this year. You're a month early, cock Lesnar. Yeah.
We got Brad Paisley coming here, so.
But he's from Saskatchewan. They hunt in Saskatchewan. As Matthew says, LOL, I'm sorry, I think someone will return to Raw tonight. Oh, okay.
Oh.
You're like, I can't eat
I
a
thought
sub
B-Money
and text at the same time. What the fuck, man? You can't eat and text at the same time? What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be able to do that. Yes. Titles of winner take all.
Except.
Ooh, Farm Boy, huh?
Who's the roadblock? Oh, he must have a big title tonight. Title match?
Oh, small details.
We did know that was coming. That is not going to be on TV that we know of.
So he's trying to, like, get him to feel like he's not going to make it. But Brock is just laughing at him because It's funny to him.
Who's he wrestling at Madison Square? Because who's on the roster that's going to beat him?
Who would? Yeah,
Besides
right.
Roman. Name me one other guy that's beaten him.
Right. Sophie says, whoever holds both championships after Mania. And if the champion can go across both brands, like the first brand split, that sets up.
If that's the case, it's Brock.
Yep.
Because Roman doesn't go to both shows.
No.
He's such a dick.
I thought he said he sucks dick. My bad.
Well, yeah, he maybe does.
I thought he said something else. What the hell?
They're still trying to pretend, so they're still going with the storyline.
I guess so. Yay! Yes, thank him. Telling him where you're supposed to be.
Where is he supposed to be?
Ooh, Friday night. You're going to be standing in the ring. In Hershey, Pennsylvania. Your little trapper.
And I'm going to be there too. Because Roma goes to both schools.
Mm. Demanding some acknowledgement. Ooh, where's Brock going to be Friday night? Saskatchewan? Eh. He's doing his own. Lesnar!
There we go.
He's like, I don't need you to tell everybody for my name and who I am. That's pretty funny. Janelle Jackson's in
Love
the
it.
chat.
Hey,
Hey,
Janelle.
Sophie says, are they adding a pay-per-view out of nowhere? No. Janelle says, can you guys tell me where all this hate came from for Bianca Belair?
They put the title on her too early. I know exactly what happened. I predicted it as it happened last year at the Royal Rumble. I was like, if they put the title on her this early, everybody's going to turn on her because she hasn't put in any work.
Nope.
No effort.
Nope.
And they just handed her the title.
Yep.
And the only thing she did was win the Rumble.
Yeah.
She did nothing. She wasn't there long enough. And the same thing with Rhea Ripley, by the way. It's not just Bianca, it's Rhea too. But you notice they took Rhea completely out of the title picture, and now she's getting popular again. Bianca, they haven't left her behind yet. But once she gets left behind just a little while, then the hate will go away, and then it'll push her forward. But that's the problem. They just put the title on those two ladies too early when they didn't do anything. They didn't earn it with the time.
Yeah.
You have to put in time.
Yeah. The time thing is a big deal.
Right.
It is. It is a big deal.
People want to get behind somebody that's fought and clawed. They don't want to just have somebody that came up and just
all of a sudden
handed.
She's so much better than all the other girls that
Right.
were champions
Handed
and all this
it,
other stuff.
handed all the
Oh,
opportunities.
here you go. Yeah, you won. Oh, because you're the best. Well, are you the best? No, you're not. You shouldn't be the best or considered the best. You know, you need to fight and claw your way to be the best, not just all of a sudden you're the best and that's it.
Right.
It shouldn't work like that.
You know, the weird thing is this happened to all the four horsewomen also when they first came up. But Paige took the brunt of it, but Paige was the perfect one to do it. Like, people somehow liked Paige when she became Divas champion.
Right.
And then Charlotte beat her, and people were like, And then it started. And then Charlotte's won 11 championships since. 12. But, The NXT one doesn't count, I guess. Are you going to be involved?
Because of us.
Oh, they're going to WrestleMania as a tag team.
Yeah, they are trying to say that they could go after the Usos SmackDown tag titles. The hellhole of Dallas, Texas, as he just kind of threw up in his mouth a little bit.
I'm pretty sure it's in Arlington. But anyway.
Doesn't matter. It's in Texas, and he doesn't
right.
like it. Sophie says, why are they hyping a house show on television? They rarely do that. And it's not really going to...
It's a huge house show. It's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's huge for people. Vindicator says...
These guys better be at WrestleMania leaving with the belts.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
Vindicator says maybe Brock is secretly auditioning for a future Clint Eastwood movie.
Maybe.
Sophie says that house show is next week. Vindicator said that house show that he's talking about is March 5th. That's 2 weeks. Today's only the 21st. Vindicator says brand split is not happening, Sophie, not for about another 5 years. Sophie says Goldberg is now a free agent. And Vindicator says, Travis, I need you to order yourself a black cowboy hat to be more synchronized with future Raw programming.
I probably should do that. I have one upstairs that was my dad's when he passed away. He left it to me. The only problem is my head's bigger. I had a bigger brain.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, it's way bigger brain.
That's not how that works. Anyways, Luke is in the chat. Hey, Luke. Says, hi, all. I'm not here for long, but what have I missed? Brock
came out and tore the house down.
He tore the house down and
awesome.
told Paul Heyman what
Paul Heyman came out, and they had words back and forth.
Yeah, he is the
Brock
reigning,
did good.
defending heavyweight champion. Called himself that. Vindicator's like, Sophie, Bill Goldberg will be all elite undefeated in one 5-minute match by Philip Jack Brooks. Okay. Vindicator says, you missed nothing important, Luke. Standard Raw meat show. Sophie says, why does D hate all the legends?
Because she didn't grow up with them. It's a different world.
I never watched wrestling.
Now she's watching. She just sees old people. We see what they used to be, and she sees older guys.
Geriatric people who should be having rascals. Matthew says, I want a wrestling gab, a 5-gallon hat to go with my cowboy boots.
Get me a Stetson or something and then put the wrestling gab on it.
Oh, God. Ruin the hat. Looks like, okay, I'll be back around 9:30 at dinner with the lady. Ooh, dinner.
Dinner is
You guys actually went out to dinner? Nobody had to make dinner this time? Good deal.
Naxos. Really?
Yeah, he's in the garbage. You better go get him. Kill him. Murder.
Don't kill.
Hurry.
Whatever go faster.
He's in something he shouldn't be.
Matthew's
like, probably right on, Luke. Have fun. Yeah, he's in the garbage with the popcorn. So put the garbage in the front room. Looks like yes. Oh, I'll see you in a while. Sweet. It's always the best when somebody else makes your food. Makes it way better. Put it in the front room and lock it up in there. Sophie's like, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are best friends. Now it reminds me of the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho storyline.
A little bit.
Travis says a little bit. Matthew says Stardust returns tonight. Oh, God, no. Let's not. Let's not.
Stardust time.
Who's going to be Miz's partner, you guys? He said he was going to go get himself a partner. Is he on Raw?
He is.
Well, I wonder if we'll find out tonight or if it'll be another time.
It'll be at WrestleMania. But they could show us tonight. I have no volume because I haven't put myself in. That's what it is. I'm like, oh my God, panic.
Panic! At the disco.
Studios 64 or 7, whatever it was.
Panic at the Disco?
No, just the disco where everybody did drugs. What was that?
Are you talking about the club?
Studio 54?
I think so, yeah. Matthew says, I don't know if he is, but I think it will be great if Cody came back as Stardust. God, no. Cody Rhodes needs to come back as Cody Rhodes. No pink, no goddamn fucking stupid gimmick
He's
shit.
built a brand.
Just Cody Rhodes.
When he comes back, it's going to be,
Rhodes.
wherever he's at, it's going to be legit, whatever you want to call it.
Cody Rhodes. He's going to be Cody
Well,
Rhodes.
yeah, he fought for it.
That's his fucking name. That's the name he can use.
He owns it.
None of this paint in your goddamn face shit. Weird stuff. So weird. Shit's weird. Daz Reynolds is in the chat. Hey, Daz says, do you think Goldberg is finished? Oh, it's going to be revealed tonight.
Woo!
His partner in crime.
Woo!
I was wondering if
a
his
global
partner,
superstar.
it's going to be Edge.
He's not a global super. He's a wrestler.
That's who he's
Edge is
asked to be
back.
his partner.
You guys, there's so much excitement coming that I don't know what to do
Is
about it.
I just...
So when you took this, did you take the pen with it?
No, it's right behind your thing. Matthew says, I just thought of my dream match last night. Dan Severn and Kurt Angle in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Dan the Beast.
Vindicator says, the actress on Endgame with the black hair is smoking hot. Can't take my eyes off her, unlike Spawn and Dr. Faker.
Burnett.
The black hair. Endgame.
I've seen it, but I don't know what he's... Huh.
I don't know
I mean, I've only seen it once.
Woman he's yakking about. Matthew's like, okay, my texting is no bueno tonight. Yeah, it's really bad. I don't even know what you're saying. It's how bad it is. And we've got the, Raw
Street
Tag
Profits.
Team Champions
Alpha Academy.
against the Street Profits. Don't know if this is for the titles. It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it.
It just has hashtag WWE Raw in the corner, so not for the titles.
I think Otis and Chad are going to keep the titles through unless they decide to put the titles back on Randy and Riddle.
Oh, yeah.
But they could also split those two up and have that match.
True. Very true. Sophie says if Steve Austin is going to be back wrestling, it will be the first time for most WWE fans to see him wrestling. Film is in the chat. Hey, Film says, let's go.
Woo!
Hey, Miss D and Travis, I am ready for another episode of Monday Night Raw.
Woo!
I'm glad somebody is ready because I wasn't ready.
You're like, I just want to watch House for the next week.
I just didn't realize. I was going to stop it. I was ready to stop it. It
Look
had
at
nothing
that
to do
elevation,
with this.
Holmes. Bam, kicks him right in the face.
Sophie says, is this the night they start the Edge AJ Styles Mania feud? I mean, it could. I mean,
Hey,
Edge
if they
is
decide
gonna
to
be
go that
there.
route, I'm looking forward to it.
Vindicator says, it's WrestleMania season, Travis. AEW has yet to create a comparable pay-per-view of its own.
No, they don't have that one. I mean, All In should be that one, but they stopped it and they started doing All Out.
Yeah.
I figured All In would be their big
Their
one.
main big one. Sophie says one of the Paul brothers. Yeah, that Miz's partner, the rumors are.
It only makes sense for it to be Logan.
Oh, right. It's so weird.
Jake, he's not as good as Logan talking.
I don't want
And
to
he's
see
a
that.
promoter now. He's got an actual boxer in his stable. It's actually pretty cool to see him out there with Eddie Hearn and stuff.
And not being like
Yeah, he's not a
boxer
boxer.
himself.
No, he's promoting.
Sophie says, did you watch the Winter Olympics this year?
Most of them. But I haven't watched it since last, I think it was Tuesday.
Otis saved Chad. They thought they were going to be beat up.
Yeah,
Michael
clubbering.
Loreda's in the chat.
Over the
Hey-
top!
Hey, Michael Loreda,
Oh,
how's it going?
shit.
Vindicator says, did you guys forget today was a holiday? I did, shamefully.
Yeah, it's President's Day. It's obviously
Is
a holiday.
it really a holiday? No, I'm just kidding.
Right? It's one of those holidays. It's like,
The banks are closed kind of thing. If that's what you forgot, then I'm sorry. But most people have to go to work except for, like, bankers and the federal government. So if you work for the government or a bank, then good for you. You got the day off. But most people were probably at work, especially retail, for all the President's Day sales. So if there was something for President's Day sale that you wanted and you didn't get a chance to get it, I'm sorry. Matthew says, I wish Raw took a page out of WCW Nitro and used the first hour for exhibition and cruiserweight matches. Grabbed everyone in WWE now as a cruiserweight. LOL, not really, but it seems like it at times.
oh yeah, most of them are. Yeah, I mean, you got like Wardlow, Jake Hager, John Moxley.
Yeah.
Starting to run out of names now. Just kidding. There's a few more.
Matthew says, is it? It is. Sophie says this holiday isn't that important compared to all the major holidays.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, New Year's, done. Right? I mean, I Memorial Day, I get that. Like, I get the soldier ones.
Right.
So Memorial Day would definitely go in there.
Veterans Day should be one.
Veterans Day is November 11th, right?
Yeah.
The 11th hour, 11th minute, 11th, all that stuff.
Yes. The 11th month.
Yeah.
The 11th
World
day.
War One ended.
Michael Laredo says Cody is making career suicide by joining WWE. I will stay in AEW.
We'll see.
We'll see what's happening.
We don't
with
know
it,
what's
guys.
going to
It's
happen.
all rumors, right? We don't know what he's choosing to do. I mean, who knows? And, you know, is it career suicide for him and his family? Who knows? I'm sure they're weighing a lot of options at this point. Matthew's like, President's Day should get replaced with a better holiday. What would the holiday be? President's Day is fine as what it is.
Okay, so it's actually supposed to be George Washington's birthday.
Right, and then they made it...
And then there was Lincoln's birthday, and then they decided to kind of put them together and just make it President's Day.
President's Day is like the day between their birthdays.
Right.
It's like a day that's between both.
Well, I don't know when Lincoln's birthday is, but Washington's birthday is the 20th. So it's yesterday.
Right.
I think.
Sophie says, do you see a Randy versus Riddle happening at Mania or SummerSlam?
Oof. It really is going to depend on what they want to do with the tag team title stuff. If they want Otis and Gable to be champions going in, then I think we'll see the split between the RK Bro. I just think it's really hot, and sometimes you just don't want to break up that hot thing.
Sometimes they do that too early, and it backfires on their faces.
Yeah, we watched that with A.S.H.
Iconics.
and what's her name, Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, that was forced, and it happened all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Without a lot of teasing.
Yeah, that forcing of it, but also like the demolition of the Iconics. That was just dumb on their part. Why would you?
Well, that should have never happened. There's certain ones that should never happen. Eric and Ibar should never split.
Yeah.
The Street Profits never split. Vince is going to split them up, by the way. Dawkins is going to be out of the league in 2 years.
Oh, I'm sure. The thing of it is like, you know, is you know, he gonna go with him kind of thing, I guess.
No.
The next question.
His wife's there. She's going to be getting paid bank. And so he's going to get paid, and he's going to want to be, well, I don't know if he'll want to be a singles wrestler, but he's going to get pushed as a mid-card singles guy. Ricochet type.
Right. Mm-hmm. Vindicator says, it's funny that President's Day sales don't get the same hype as Black Friday sales.
It's mostly mattresses, though. So if you guys need a mattress, you should have went and got one earlier today.
Matthew's like, Vindicator, that's racist. Black Friday deals are because of the day that it is. Guys.
Two.
It's right after Thanksgiving. Michael Arias, the Stardust is coming back. LOL. No. And I'm pretty sure that character is dead, buried, and gone. Sophie says, I thought Double or Nothing was AEW's version of WrestleMania. No.
No, if anything, it would be All Out.
Yeah. All In was supposed to be that, like Travis said. It was like their first pay-per-view. It was their baby. It was the first thing they did.
It was before they were All Elite.
Yeah, it was before they were even on TV. I mean, that was
on Fight. That's how you had to buy it. I don't even know if any of you guys watched it. I watched it. That Matt Ryan was hilarious.
Yes. The dick flipper.
The dick flip, dude. Oh, my God.
Yes.
How he's not in wrestling right now, I have no idea.
Well, you know, allegations.
That's that PG stuff that
Me
people
Too
with too
and
much
cancel
thin
culture.
skin.
Yep. Matthew says Easter is April 17th. That seems late. Travis and I were talking about Easter and how they come about finding Easter.
I officially know how they do Easter now. So
we talked about it for like 15 minutes.
It's a Christian holiday. So it's after the first full moon after the spring equinox.
It's the Sunday.
After
the first Sunday
after the first full moon after the equinox.
Yeah. After the spring equinox. So
but it's still never in March.
Yeah. It's never been in March. The latest has been May. And most of the time it's in April. A
Right.
Vindicator's like, LOL. Matt and Matthew is like, cheers. And Sophie says, remember when the Cruiserweight division was part of Raw when they brought the brand split
Yes,
back?
it was. It was up. And, I actually didn't mind that. I kind of like when they do that because it lets me know who the smaller guys are. I don't hate them. I just don't think that you should have a whole roster of them. That's what irritates me about AEW.
Yeah, their diversity isn't very good, and when you don't have diversity, you tend to stalemate a lot.
Like we're watching Chad Gable right now. He should be in 205. He's not. He's on the main roster. He's in a main match,
and he's a champion. A guy that's like twice his weight.
And he's a champion. Look at Ford.
Well, holy crap!
Oh shit!
Oh my god! He fell on him.
His foot's under the rope. What the?
So Chad held his foot down, so he couldn't put his foot on the rope.
Alpha Academy with a huge win right there.
That's just not right.
Ford trying to do a muscle game instead of a high flying game. I think it was out of his league.
He tried. He's like, seriously. Vindicator says, Travis, do you think WWE should have built up Otis to be the next Vader instead of this
goofy
one-note, mostly irrelevant sidekick?
Yeah, I think they could do where he's a badass. I also would like Vader to be Doudrop. I think Doudrop would be the better Vader out of the two for the women's division. Just a badass, even wear a mask type of thing. It doesn't have to be exactly like Vader, but I understand what he's saying. But yeah, Vader for Otis would be good also. Otis is a little bit shorter than Big Vader was, but still has that power. Hey, Tommaso Ciampa on the main roster.
They're like, we need you to do some Just for Men. Mike Laredo says Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back. He didn't wrestle in 20 years.
Tommaso Ciampa up on the main roster. Hopefully everybody's excited.
Ooh, added bonuses.
Who's it going to be? Mr. Monday Night? Finn Balor.
Mr. Finn Balor.
What's up, he says. Like he didn't know. What's up?
So we have a dwarf and a hobbit talking to each other. Right. And we're going to Middle Earth, everybody. Just so you know. That's what's happening.
Middle Earth. Lord of the Rings. It's unfolding. Live on TV. All we need is Neville.
Where's Pac when you need him? Where's my orc? I need my orc man.
That's happening now.
It's happening right now, you guys. Balor and Tommaso Ciampa against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Glorious Shoffs. All right, so let's see. Michael says that. Matthew says, I'm seriously thinking about buying lawn furniture for inside. I need to get some stuff, but I'm waiting because I think I'm moving out of this ghetto. Sophie says, remember SummerSlam is in July
I don't think that's a horrible idea.
Lawn furniture inside?
Right. I mean, the right type of lawn furniture.
It depends.
I don't know if you want a folding lawn chair, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I would get what I would personally get. If I was going to do lawn chair, I would do more like camping chair. And it would be like those, those hammock hanging camping chairs or something like that. Or those, like those ones that we got. What are those called? They're called gravity chairs or something like that where you can like kick back in them and stuff.
Are you talking about those long ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fold up, though. They still all fold up. So I would go more along the lines of, like, maybe camping type stuff.
Right. You could sleep in
like
those.
Lawn chair.
Every March, I go out there and lay in the sun in those.
Yeah.
They're shaped like you, kind of. Like a human.
Yeah. Michael Laredo says, good match. And Sophie says, remember SummerSlam is in July. And compared to the last Saudi show, this one was kind of boring. It had some highlights for sure. Yeah, it was kind of...
I like
kind of like this.
I like Brock at the end.
Yeah.
I don't like how he won. I don't like how Bobby lost.
Yeah, but if he was already injured, that's different. Matthew says, no kidding, T-Rex, you're very well rounded with your knowledge.
Yeah.
He pretends he knows stuff. Yeah, no kidding about the whole Easter and how they figure out the time. Like, we literally had, like, a conversation about how they figured it out. Because he was like, well, how do they figure it out? How do they know when Easter's supposed to be? And I was like,
well, I like to know how all holidays are figured out, not just one.
Well, I get it, but that one's a little bit weirder than the others.
Right.
P-Cola is in the chat. Hey, P-Cola, nice to see you. How was your weekend? Says, hi, everyone.
Woo!
What's Nikki Bella doing on America's Got Talent when she has none? She thinks she has some. That's the point.
What is her talent? Right? What is she doing on there?
What
Singing?
Is her talent?
Oh, is she a judge?
Michael Loretta says, good match. And Sophie says, wow, look who is making their in-ring Raw debut.
I love it.
Film says, I'm also Tommaso Ciampa is about had it with Dolph Ziggler, LOL. Piccolo says, women and mask PTSD from that Retribution group.
Oh, God.
Sophie's like, do you guys do Lent? Most people do it. Do not do anything with Lent myself.
Never mind. Oh my gosh, I'm so far. No, I don't. I was like my dryer. Like I know what it is. I sorry.
Michael,
I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
Finn Balor is back. Nice. Matthew says, no one in WWE is seriously that scary. Not like Kane, Mankind, and Vader. There isn't the same intensity with the roster. You know, and it's not so much the roster, Matthew. I think they did their entrances more intense, where Vince nowadays doesn't care about that.
He doesn't care about entrances. Like, if you go to NXT, they used to have really badass entrances, like under Triple H.
And since Vince took it over, they're kind of like, bleh.
Yeah, their entrances are just come out and wrestle.
Yeah.
And I think it was just better. Finn Balor coming out, turn the lights off. Oh, the place lights up.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten away from a lot of that stuff. It makes it fun. And I think that's hurting them in some ways.
Well, in the 80s, it worked. In the 80s, you just came out to your music, you know, and people loved it.
Yeah, but you can't do that nowadays.
I
People have to be entertained, all the time.
I feel like Vince is going to the 80s.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has the 80s talent.
No.
No. It's a weird...
Uh-huh.
Or popularity. They're probably way more talented than the guys from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They just aren't the guys from the 80s. They're not the bigness. They don't have the star power.
Right. Phone says, let's go Finn Balor, and the Resident Evil AMC's in the chat. Hey, Resident says, hi, how are you? Great, how are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? Sophie says, I thought Easter was in March one year. Never. It's never, ever been in March.
Yeah, well, she looked that up. I didn't look that up. So that's...
It was part of the information on that site when I looked up how you figure it out. Chris says, my boy Finn Balor. Pico says, hey, Balor gets to tag. And Vindicator says Ciampa lied to everyone saying he would never be on the so-called main roster, but money always changes people's minds.
Right.
That in situations, right?
And he also said, because, I mean, NXT down there is the same as the main roster now. But anyways, he also, when he came up, in this interview, he said he came to my home NXT. Mm-hmm. So he was trying to make sure everybody knew that he's still an NXT guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't say he's at Raw to be on Raw. Right. He's just there because Dolph Ziggler's there.
Because Dolph keeps coming down to his house.
So you're going to come to my house. Well, I'm going to come over to yours and ruin your life. Sophie says, so I'm guessing Tommaso Ciampa will be wrestling twice on Mania weekend. If he wrestles on NXT, possibly. But you'd hope that they'd kind of do or get rid of or finish whatever it is they've got going on with this. Piccolo says,
I don't see him wrestling
living room furniture
twice. I don't see him wrestling at Mania.
Yes, Piccolo, for living room furniture. I'm pretty sure that's what Matthew is talking about. And I understand where he's coming from, right?
Our patio furniture I'd put in the house and sit on it any day of the week.
Yes, but it's also expensive. I was thinking trying to keep him in a good budget. Film says, hey, Miss D and Travis, just wanted to tell you guys I had an awesome birthday. Did you, Phil?
Woo!
Congratulations. I'm glad that you had a great birthday yesterday. And happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Matthew says, some of the lawn furniture is styled like inside stuff. I'm just thinking that it's easier to move because it disassembles and I can move it by myself. Right. Understand that. So if you're... Okay, so here is what we learned about patio furniture.
Oh, shit.
If that's what you're talking about for our deck. I bought some patio furniture off of Amazon, which you could take apart, put in boxes, and move yourself. It was supposed to be, pretty good. It got really good reviews that it was, pretty decent stuff. But it was mostly that the customer service was, really good with the company. So I buy it. We get it. Travis puts it together. And I tell him I hate it. I don't like it.
I
It
had
looks
to take
uncomfortable.
every single piece back
I
apart.
didn't like it. And instead, I bought patio furniture from Costco, which that's what I wanted in the first place, but they were out, and then they got it back in, and I said, fuck it, I'm buying it. And so I did, and I'll never go back, but would I want to take it apart, pack it up, and do that with it? No, I wouldn't. I seriously would not. Right. It's heavy, it's nice, but
look at that Ciampa getting distracted by Dolph
to like take apart.
Robert Roode's got him in a side headlock.
With it yourself. Sophie's like, Ciampa always said in previous interviews that he would retire if he ever gets called up to the main roster. Yeah,
I also want to throw out that if you get a nice Lazy Boy recliner, the backs come off.
Yeah, you could move that by yourself.
And that's pretty easy to move by yourself.
Unless you're looking for something for more people to sit in your house, I suggest that is the way to go. Just get you, and I mean, spend the money on a nice Lazy Boy, actual brand name.
Keep it with you the rest of your life.
And just take really good care of it, and that will be the only seat you will need. I mean, in all reality. So, I mean, and you can move them yourself because, like Travis said, the back comes off, and I can move it.
There's two buttons on the back. The whole back comes off. Actually, just so do these.
Yeah, these ones, but I also got these from Costco. So, like Costco furniture.
These weren't too expensive though.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
And they're nice.
What they were, and they're really nice. They like lean back. They don't rock or anything. But if you're looking for something that comes apart and maybe is smaller and stuff. Look around. Try if you don't have a Costco. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't actually like to rock, so I like these because I get myself going like this and I can't stop because my feet don't touch the ground. She bought these chairs that are ginormous. Like so, when you're sitting in them, you can't help but move wherever the world takes you.
Though. I would not exchange them for anything different.
Ciampa holds onto the ropes, throws Dolph to the outside.
Only thing I change them for is them to be fabric instead of leather. That would be the only thing. But the reason why I got what I got was because of the dogs, not because of anything else.
I don't mind the leather. Whoa, Finn Balor over the top.
It gets cold really easily. It sticks to your skin. When you get hot, it's all.
We have air conditioning and heating.
It doesn't matter. You sit down in a shorts.
Oh,
and
look at this poor guy.
He's trying to keep his.
Domino's gives you $3 if you do carry out.
Like that wouldn't make your pizza bad. He literally threw his pizzas up in the air. Like, that's not going to make him hit the top of the box and be all gross.
So is Domino's suggesting that you should only tip your driver $3? Because that's all they're going to tip you?
To come pick up your shit?
Like, hey, you pay me $3. Okay, I'll pay your guys $3.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's kind of what they're trying to portray a little bit, huh? Which is
I mean, I usually do 5, so...
I'll
have to back off a little bit, I guess.
It depends on what my
Pump the brakes.
Let's see.
Tony does it by a percentage.
That's how I usually do it. I usually do like a 15%. 10 to 15%. Piccola says Bella is judging yes. And Chris says maybe Balor should come back to NXT to face Gunther at Mania weekend for NXT Stand and Deliver. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. They do have a feud brewing with him and the Little Uso. I can never remember his name. I don't watch it enough.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael Loretta says, Nikki Bella is hot. That's it. LOL. Piccola says, I gave up crack as strippers for Lent. Still going strong. Has it been over a year, or did you just barely do it?
No, Lent was just happening.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Piccola says, this weekend was sort of a bummer. I had to stay in the hospital overnight on Saturday for my mom. Oh, no. Is she okay?
Holy crap. Who's that?
That's Piccola. Is your mom okay, Piccola?
Uh-oh.
I hope everything's all right. Is she home? Is she out? Is she doing okay? Matthew says, I started watching season 6 of Raw and DX just formed and the Austin Vince angle started. I'm pretty certain this is the beginning of the real Attitude Era. Sophie says, with Tommaso Ciampa getting called up, that opens the door for Johnny Gargano to think about re-signing with the WWE. Film says, I mean, I like Nikki Bella, but has she smoked or something? She talked about why smoking is bad.
I have no idea
People
what
talk
she's
about
done.
why stuff's bad doesn't mean that
She
they get it.
had a rough childhood, guys. Like, if you've read their book, which I have read their book, about the Bellas. They have a book, and Brie had the worst, but Nikki had it pretty bad. Mm-hmm. Like, they had a stepdad that beat them, and it was just tough.
Yeah.
Brie ended up getting in a fight with him and left, and went and stayed at a friend's house, and then they all ran away.
They all ran away.
It was tough.
Sophie says President's Day is confusing because some places are off and some aren't. Film says, I don't know. I don't like Nikki Bella when it comes to our ego. I mean, after all, she did broke up with John Cena.
Yeah, Sheamus broke her nose. That's why she looks different than Brie. They are identical twins.
Right.
And she was sitting at ringside, and Sheamus was practicing inside with another wrestler, and he come flying and kneed her right in the face.
Ouch.
2 days before their debut.
Yeah.
And they were going to do twin magic.
Oh.
I don't know if you know what that is, but one twin hides.
Oh.
And then the one twin is wrestling, and then when she gets tired, she just rolls out, and the other one rolls in. Mm-hmm. And they were going to do twin, but she had a
busted nose.
So
they couldn't do it. So they'd have to bust the other one's nose.
Right.
They should have just busted Brie's nose, and it would have worked out perfect. Chris says, here come the Bulldogs, Dolph and Big Bob. And Matthew says, yeah, thanks for this patio furniture lesson. Vindicator says, now Vince allows NXT highlights to be shown on Raw since his henchman Bruce Pritchard took over it. And Pico says, Nickelodeon wrestling equals NXT. Film says, more like an edgier Nickelodeon for NXT in my honest opinion. And Sophie says, NXT TakeOver will take place in Dallas. Matthew says, I just saw an L-shaped patio couch with a big square ottoman for like $800, $900. I know what you're talking about with the chair. That's how I fit a recliner in my Jetta. LOL.
There you go.
So that L-shaped patio furniture you're talking about for the $800 or $900, not worth it. It will be uncomfortable. You will not like it.
The padding's about that thick, and it'll slide.
Yeah.
So you'll have to like Velcro it down or something.
Yeah.
But that's about what she had bought, but it was the 1200 version of that L-shaped one.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take each piece and make it into different shapes.
Yeah.
Like it didn't have to be an L. You could do like a U.
Two couches.
Or two couches.
Like that. But only one side had like an arm. Like none of them had armrests and stuff. Luna says NXT equals the current Nickelodeon. And Matthew says, oh, Luna, yeah, it's a coloring book. Sophie says, do you see Pete Dunne getting called up next? He supposedly is one of the ones that's supposed to be getting called up.
I would like to see Pete Dunne up.
And Piccolo says microfiber is the way to go, especially with kids. And Sophie says, thanks for the patio advice, Steve. All I'm saying is if you want your outside to be as comfortable as your inside, let's say you're not looking for furniture for your house that's easy to move, but you have nice inside furniture and you have an outside space. I suggest making your outside space just as comfortable as your inside space, because if you don't, you won't spend time there. Because that was my problem. I hated it. It was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. We built this really nice deck, had horrible furniture on it. I never wanted to be out there. We got this furniture I bought, last year or the year before? Last year. And I was out there all the time. Unless it was really, really hot.
Like June 8th or something.
If it was really hot, I didn't like being out there, but that's just because it was like 100 and something degrees.
I bought some misters, so we'll see if they work. Or she bought some misters, I guess. Yeah. I didn't buy them.
So, I mean, but, that's just, something that I learned, I guess,
That's it. 1, 2, and 3. No! Finn Balor kicks out.
Make it as much of a living space as you possibly can. So you can do outside living, too. Vindicator says Travis is so rich that $5 is but a drop in the bucket to him. A dewdrop.
A dewdrop.
Film says can't wait to see the amazing Harry and Goddess Bliss. And Golf Lecture says the 90s and 2000s to mid 2000s children's TV shows are better than today's.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Stuff from the 70s and 80s.
I liked Big Bang Theory though.
Shit.
I did like Big Bang Theory.
Children's TV shows we're talking about, not just TV shows.
What's a children's TV show?
Cartoons like He-Man, things like that we watched,
yeah,
and then you have the weird shit they have. Like, look at the Looney Tunes now, and then watch the Looney Tunes from when we were kids.
Bobby Roode just got pinned by Tommaso Ciampa.
Pinned by Tommaso Ciampa. Saw that coming from a million miles away.
Poor Roode. I feel like Roode should be a top guy, and he's like buried in a tag team.
Right. I think it's because of Dolph, and they're like, being all mean to Dolph, so they're going to be mean to him or whatever. Let's see. Matthew says, "Oh, what Domino's is doing is actually a pretty smart way to handle the employment shortage. But yeah, what's $3? If it was 15% of the order, that's smart. So even 10 would be better. Well, and it depends on the order, right? So if you go there, right, and you order $50 worth of stuff, and you go to pick it up, and you're gonna feel obligated to tip them because one, they still made the fucking food."
Right.
So you're going to tip them and they're going to give you $3. It's not even fucking 10% of a $50 order. It's like, and the gas and everything else. And it's like, you know what? I get it that you guys have a shortage of people. But, I mean, maybe, you know.
I mean, you could get nothing. That's what everywhere else does.
True.
So $3 is better than that.
I get that. But I'm just saying that it just doesn't help because you're going to feel obligated to tip them anyways.
I want $3 in cash. I don't want it off
When
my
I
bill.
go pick up my own food from a place, I still tip because they still had to make the food and put it together. They still had to do work. It's not like they're like, all right, you ordered your food, now you just go there and it miraculously got itself together and and stuff.
Molly Weasley's in the back.
Right? Just doing her thing. Sophie says, what was your fave TV show to watch back in the 2000s? I don't even remember what shows were on during that time.
Well, I like Big Bang Theory, but I think that started in like 2007. What was on in that time?
I don't know. That's the point. I was just saying, I have no idea. Film says, not going to lie, that is pretty harsh. I kind of feel sorry for the Bella twins that they go through that. Sophie says, people make fun of the WWE by saying they don't care about tag team wrestling, but the first 2 matches are tag teams.
Yeah, Brie's love of her life is not Daniel, and she'll be the first one to tell you that.
Yeah.
Her love of her life was a guy named Bear.
And he died.
And they were soulmates. He saved her from suicide, basically, and he died in a car wreck. And she has his name tattooed on him, and she thinks that he sent her Daniel.
Mm-hmm. To take care of her, basically.
Like, so Daniel knows that he's number 2.
And will always be number 2.
And he's fine with it. They've got kids and everything else, but
they worked it out, you know. That's what communication's all about, guys. Right? That kind of stuff. Matthew says, OMFG, I stopped to try and help a horrible motorcycle accident today. Luckily, 2 ladies stopped and were giving him CPR. The motorcycle burst into flames and set the ground on fire. Oh, that's terrible,
yeah,
Matthew.
that can definitely happen.
Sorry that you had to see that. I'm sorry that those people had to go through all that.
So I have a video of that on my phone.
It's terrible.
A guy that's dead in an intersection. McKenna, so Kim had picked up McKenna and her friends at the movie theater, and they were driving back, and then there was this horrible accident, and there's a guy just laying in the road dead. And Kenna's like filming it with her phone, and then sends it to me. So it's on my phone.
Yes.
I'm like,
oh my goodness.
I asked Kim, I was like, was really somebody dead? And she's like, yeah, he passed away, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why do I have a video of a dead guy on my phone? She's like, she sent you that? I told her not to record that. And I'm like,
yeah, that's going to work with a 14-year-old.
At the time.
14, 15-year-old. Yeah. Ian's in the chat. Hey, Ian says, do you like airplanes? Does it everybody?
Yeah.
Big Cola says, yeah, my mom had chest pains and it turned out to be a false alarm. I mean, she had some physical therapy done and may have mistaken muscle inflammation for some cardiac.
Oh, yeah, that can definitely happen.
Stuff. You know what? I totally understand that. And
was
that's
she having a
still
panic attack too?
Scary.
You have a panic attack and sore muscles
at the same time. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with going into a hospital for something like that, just in case, because women with cardiac stuff is completely different than men. It doesn't even always have to be pain. So it's better to be safe than sorry for that kind of stuff. That stuff can be scary. I'm glad your mom's okay, though.
Yes.
I'm glad she's okay, and it was just some physical therapy that she was doing. They made her chesticle muscles very sore.
Libbity bibbity.
Ian says, do you like my new logo? FedEx Cargo plane logo. Yeah, it's way cool, Ian. You love some airplanes. That's nice. And Ayla's in the chat. Hey, Ayla says, yeah, your deck is nice. It is pretty nice out there. And Piccolo says, Ian with the hot takes. Sophie says, if you want to sleep, put this past Saturday pay-per-view, but only the women's elimination chamber match, it will put you to sleep guaranteed. Oh, shit.
If you can fall asleep in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Matthew is like, oh fuck, who left the front open, or the floor open? I have no idea. Film's like, can't wait to see Bliss on Raw, let's go. And he says, what, Piccolo? And Ayla's like, the movie Airplane? And Piccolo says, I wish they could give Roode a singles title.
Me too.
He says, no, Ayla, I don't like movies, airplanes. And Ayla's like, oh, I hate airplanes. Piccolo's like, I'm not sure where airplanes came from, Ian. And Film's like, hey, Piccolo, I hope your mom will be okay.
My favorite thing is that Airplane, the movie, is rated PG-13.
It is, and it is like
there's titties. Like, they're running down the aisle, and titties are just
flying everywhere. It is very funny.
Like,
so
hey.
It's like Airplane was a good movie. Matthew says, I like blimps. Piccolo says, flying in general is anxiety personified. Ayla says, I love the movie called Airplane. So I always wanted to go in a hot air balloon, right? And when my mom passed away, my dad decided that he would go to Phoenix, Arizona for the winter for a couple of years. And so, since my birthday was in February, I would take a whole week off of work at the job I worked at the time. And I went down to Phoenix and stayed with my dad for that week. And one of the times for my birthday, I told him I really wanted to go on a hot air balloon ride. That was what I wanted to do. That was the only thing I wanted to do. And we tried for 2 days, and the weather never cooperated because the wind cannot be blowing that hard because they will not let you go up if it is, and stuff like that. So I never got to do it. And it's like, I almost feel like because of that, I might chicken out the next time and not go. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it next time. We were so close, too. We were, like, at the sites and everything. It was...
Just go up to Driggs on the 4th. They have a balloon race every year.
Yeah, but do they do rides?
They'll take you up.
But do they make it, if the weather's bad, they don't? Kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to go by myself. I want somebody to go with me.
The 4th is never bad weather. I mean, every once
Whatever.
in a while.
It snowed on the 4th
Last
before.
year it was so windy we quit, but
yeah,
it was also night. The day was nice.
Yeah.
Here's Miz. All right, who are we going to find?
Nobody will know how it's like to fly in a private jet, right? Let's see. Oh, that's real sweet of him. Ian says, why do you love be flying airplanes? Be chicken. And Vinny says, Ayla, will you hire someone to build a deck at your new house someday? Ayla's like, be chicken? I don't think one can be chicken. Vindicator's like, maybe Ciampa will get a push to challenge Lesnar for the WWE title right after Mania.
Yeah, let it happen. He'll get squashed quick, but yeah.
Ian's like, I like airplanes in the plane. I don't like taking off. Matthew says,
what? That's my favorite part?
That was my favorite part. I love taking off, especially in the small planes. I rode in a small plane when we went to Mexico, and we went from Phoenix to down in Hermosillo, Mexico. And oh my God, that was the funnest flight ever, was that tiny little fucking 2-prop 19 passenger fucking plane. Was the funnest fucking shit. I was like, this is awesome. Who doesn't like this? I mean, granted, I'm not a big fan of heights, but the height thing didn't even bother me. No. I'm like, I made an airplane. Didn't even think about it. I had a good time.
Yeah, I used to fly back and forth from here to Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. It's 40 minutes. Uh-huh. Like, we go down there for a day or whatever and come back and forth. And that's my favorite part, was the takeoff. I hated the actual flight.
Yeah. That short, it's kind of boring. But, yeah. Oh, he's hiding behind massive humility, huh? It's like, maybe probably won't have to hire anyone. As Ian says, Matthew says Domino's is nasty anyways. It used to be really good. Golfleshia says Regina Rocket from Rocket Power. This is how I got inspired by Purple Mane from her, and I got my punk attitude from Ember from Danny Phantom. Nice.
What in the world? I've never heard of either one of those. Is that Ayla?
No, Golfleshia.
Oh, Golfleshia.
Ian says I love flying the airplane. Sophie says it will be interesting what they do with the winner take all winner after Mania. Like, how are they going to handle both championships? Ian says, hey, Ayla, do you like trains? And Piccolo says, Domino's aren't always busy here. I think Papa John's and a couple local pizza joints get more business here.
Here comes.
Hey, it's Rey Mysterio.
The Mysterios.
Annoy him with their presence. Ian's like, hey, Ayla, do you like ships? And Ayla's like, hey, Ian, shh. And Film says, it's confirmed Charlotte Flair will be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey.
Yes, it is.
Matthew says, that's what love is about, right? about the whole Brie and stuff. Yeah. Pico says Heroes was good and Lost and Mad Men were my 2000 shows I liked. Sophie says, so at Mania we are getting 2 celebrity matches? Yeah, because isn't like Johnny Knoxville might be involved. Bad Bunny might be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bad Bunny has a match.
Yeah. Let's see. Pico's like, thanks, Film. BTS, I appreciate the support. Film says, you're very welcome. And Sophie says, I like How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, and House are the 2000 shows I like to watch. Matthew says, even heartburn can cause heart attack symptoms. And Pico says, so very true. It can be scary for elderly women. Yeah, Pico, totally. Yeah, so I'm glad your mom's okay. That is very scary stuff. Matthew says, Leslie Nielsen is one of the greats. Film says, OMG, Miss D, you have a birthday in February? Yes, Phil. My birthday is in February. And Sophie says, when you weren't watching wrestling, what were you watching instead? Not wrestling.
I'm pretty sure all I ever watched was sports in the early 2000s.
Okay, so I remember on Monday nights, because we used to only have like a TV, right? I didn't have a TV in my room and stuff. Monday Night Football, right? I remember my dad watching Monday Night Football, so I'd sit and watch Monday Night Football with my dad. My brother was out of the house, so it was just me. My mom would be reading a book or playing on her computer or something like that. Otherwise, I played video games. I played computer games or stuff like that. I didn't really sit and watch a whole bunch of stuff. Oh God, why is he talking?
It's terrible.
God, no. Films like, that is so cool. Those have birthdays in February. That's awesome. And Pico says, that's America's Got Talent Extreme is mirroring the Go Big Show. Same premise, just different judges. Oh, interesting. Matthew says, in Albuquerque, there's a balloon fest. It's a huge event. My home in New York was right by an airport where they held the balloon races. That's cool. It was like New Jersey. He meant New Jersey. Uh-huh. Vindicator says, I'm taking a 15-minute break. I just don't care anymore about MJF TV or Miz or whatever he wants.
There it is. Setting it up. Tag team match. Mysterios and Miz and his mystery tag team partner.
Mystery. Pico says, I believe in East Tennessee, possibly Pigeon Forge.
Here it comes.
They have a huge hot air balloon event each year. Oh, that's cool.
I gotta stand up, I guess.
Get out of your seat.
I'm getting up.
It is him. There you go. The rumors were fucking true.
Logan
time.
Paul.
Oh my goodness.
And he's there. Logan's there.
There. Feels like boom. I'm so glad that you got up for it.
I had to sit back down.
Right? Just because it wasn't as exciting as you know. Because like Sophie, I still like watching House reruns. Yeah, I was watching House today actually. I was like, it's on Peacock. I think I'm going to watch it. Film says, boo, Miz, boo. And Matthew says, listen here, broad. You shut your mouth and know your damn rule. You smell that? Ew. Like telling her to be in the kitchen making sandwiches. Sophie's like, House is on Peacock, Amazon Prime, and I think Hulu. And Film says, yes, Rey and Dominik Mysterio is here. Matthew says, how you been, Miss Ayla? Ayla says, I was on a little plane back when my grandpa got emergency flown to Salt Lake. Grandma and I hate to fly from our airport to Salt Lake.
Is this jackass? This is going to be your tag team partner at WrestleMania. We accept.
619.
Oh, shit! Oh, Logan attacked Rey. We've never seen Logan in actual action before.
Right?
Look at him just pounding Rey.
He's got him. He's like, I got you.
By the way, he wrestled in college, Logan.
Right.
He's not just a pussy.
So he was on the wrestling. He may not have won awards, but he like knows what he's doing without hurting somebody, basically. Sophie says, so they are saving the Rey Dominik feud heading into SummerSlam and Mania? Probably. Ayla says, I'm doing okay. Sick again, not like it went away. Yeah, that sucks, man. Ayla, you gotta stop being sick. It's because your kid's going to school now and he's around other kids, and so he's gonna bring him all the ick.
Your immune system's gonna get a huge boost.
Your immune system is gonna be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell? What the
Look
hell?
at that. They got the Mysterios all beat up.
Good for them.
Social media mogul. Logan Paul. WrestleMania.
Matthew says, that sucks. My stomach still bothers me. And the last 2 mornings I woke up with a sore throat, but it went away after 2 hours. Probably just sleeping with your mouth open. Phil says, no, not this YouTube dork. Matthew's like, oh, OMG, I hate my life. Because, like, I was overseas half the decade. I may have watched more movies and TV shows. A lot of Haji Mart discount bootleg movies. I bet that was interesting. Were they, like, the real movies? Or were they, like, weird, like, remakes of the movie?
Look at this skull-crushing finale! Skull-crushing finale by Logan Paul!
Wow, he taught him a move. He's like, look, yeah, man. Ayla says, I have a sore throat now. And Matthew's like, wrestling is dead. I was like, bro, this is cringe. I feel sorry for the Miz. Heidi from Staten Island's like, you gotta be joking. Ugh. Matthew's like, do you drink tea or anything? Kind of curious because you have a diverse palate.
Oh.
Are you asking Ayla? Is that
You
you're asking
know what's
him,
crazy
Matthew?
about this is he's got 21 million followers.
Yeah.
They're going to watch that.
They should.
That's going to be a huge pop.
It should.
I wonder how much money he's going to make.
I don't know, but he should pull in a lot of people to watch it.
I just want to know how much money he makes.
Sophie says this Miz Logan Paul pairing doesn't make storyline sense.
Didn't Logan attack Miz before?
I don't remember.
Wasn't when Logan came before?
Him.
He was mad at Miz?
Maybe. I don't remember. Ooh, Alpha Academy people.
I feel like the back...
Matthew says, for some reason I want Paul to wrestle Hook. Because, like, I take zinc all through the winter and also vitamin D. And vitamin C, if you're not getting vitamin C, people, vitamin C and zinc are one of the best combos to do for colds and stuff like that. Ayla says, I don't typically drink tea unless I'm sick, so I drink one called Zen and an orange spice, usually just coffee and water. Film says, what the what, bro? And Matthew says, orange spice is yummy. And Ayla says, I took a bunch of zinc and ate so much raw garlic and I'm still sick. Roberto says, I thought the Miz was talking about Cody Rhodes. Magical.
You just put a 4 over... Put a line above it.
You put a line above what?
That's how you do 333.
Oh, for
just
an
put a line
infinite
above
3.
it. I think.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do, weirdos. Sophie says, so Logan Paul got the Bad Bunny part at Mania. Not necessarily.
We might still see Bad Bunny.
I mean, he was at Rumble.
Yeah,
Is that it?
he was at the Rumble, did pretty good. And
people...
he's got a huge following. There could be a lot of people watching WrestleMania this year. Stone Cold coming back, hypothetically. We just heard it again from Kevin Owens that Texas sucks.
Yes.
Dallas is stupid cesspool or whatever it was.
Rhea Ripley, huh?
So there could be a lot of eyes watching this pay-per-view.
Our first women we're seeing tonight, Rhea Ripley coming
and
down.
And it's only $4.99 to watch the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
So a shit ton of people are going to be joining Peacock.
Oh, yeah. Peacock says, a guy is videotaping in the theater, so audio is jacked. Sometimes you hear laughter in the crowd, and it's shaky as fuck. Yeah,
so I was right there with you watching that shit. I watched Madagascar 2 that way, and it was still the funniest show I've ever seen. Rhea Ripley, different top. A little bit different pants, too, but pretty close to the same.
We're still having this matchup still. Jesus
They're not letting
Christ.
that go. That Nikki A.S.H can't win a fucking match to save her life, yet we keep seeing her on TV.
Hell, tired of seeing it. Matthew's like, well, I can tell you what that WWE is going to getting some ratings and new viewers. Yes, that is what's going to happen. Minicator says Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes make it happen at Mania. She's McBoss Man.
Oh, they're doing a YouTube thing.
Ew.
CNC.
Yeah,
cool.
The 28th is their date.
I will not watch that, but I hope you guys enjoy it if you guys like Carmella and Corey.
Yeah, if you guys are big fans, watch their dumb lives. Because, like, I remember Man of Steel is one of the gems that I picked up. Yeah, Man of Steel. Sophie says if Cody does appear tonight, I could see him attack a main event star.
Did you actually have like a burned DVD
Yeah.
Or did you just get them online? Because I just got them on.
No, he had burned DVDs.
That's sick.
DVD
Like straight bootleg.
Yes, bootleg copies of them was what he said earlier. Because he was in the service at the time during that time
I would have
period.
kept it and like framed those motherfuckers. That's so cool. I never did that. I just had the internet, so.
Right.
But that's awesome.
Sophie says, Matthew says, Paul is good for business and he is a legit fighter. I already don't like him, but I might like him better once he goes heel. Very controversial move by WWE. I'm down. Ayla says, the Tazo brand tea is pretty good again, though I'm not a tea fan. Matthew says, I'm surprised you, a vampire, can eat garlic. Film says, yes, Rhea Ripley is coming out. Yes, love seeing her armpits. And Matthew says, Rhea needs a push.
You know who Rhea looks like in her face? Have you ever seen the movie? I think it's called Scream. Not Scream. What's the other one with the guy that cuts everybody up? Jigsaw?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about now? Do you see it? Her face?
That mask?
She looks just like him. Like when her face, she turns her face like that. And you're like, oh. Anyway, she looks like that mask on, what is that show called? Saw. Anyway, Saw. But I don't think in number 1 he has the mask. So it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Or 4.
Vindicator says, time for someone to get brutalized. I know Rhea still gets you fired up, Travis.
I like Rhea. She just needs to change her makeup.
Sophie says, it is kind of sad that a lot of WWE stars don't have plans for Mania, but guys like Logan Paul, Stone Cold, Johnny Knoxville are getting roles at Mania. So they bring people in.
They're going to have 18 matches at least. We could have 20 matches or 18. That's right around, without any tag teams, what, 36 people?
Right.
Just if they were all one-on-ones. And we already know we're going to have a few tag teams. We have 2 tag team championships. We just have The Miz and Logan Paul, their tag team match.
Yep.
So that's at least, what, 4, 5, 6 other people? Or no, 3 other people? Whatever. I don't know. I can't do my math right now. But it's more people.
Yes.
2 more per match. So 6 more people than 36. If there's 18 matches.
True. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do next year. Are they going to do just 12 matches or something? Are we going to be there all day doing wrestling? Yeah. A lot of people are going to get left off next year if they only do a one night.
Oh, yeah.
But they try to get everybody a participation trophy.
Yeah, which is sad.
And it'll be watered down. Some of the matches in the middle are going to be like a equivalent to a Raw or SmackDown type match. Because everybody has to get a shot. You're going to see people like Ricochet, Los Lotharios might even be in, and they're not WrestleMania guys.
Right.
What's his name that Sheamus just turned on?
Holland.
Ridge Holland and Sheamus.
Hey, it's Veer.
Please, Veer. Show up.
You question because you don't understand, bitches. You don't understand because you don't believe. That's why your kingdom's empty.
Veer. Next week. Say it.
Soon.
Just maybe show him.
Your kingdom will become mine. Still coming to Raw. Good for him. Body's still coming.
So I talked to him on Twitter, and he replied. So.
Piccolo says, my first year in Iraq, 2003, I had my dad send me a copy of the NBA All-Star Game on VHS. He recorded over some movies, but I was happy to see an unerased Ace Ventura When Nature Calls.
That is so awesome.
Phil says, Rhea Ripley totally needs a push after all she did. I got behind again.
What's its name? Jigsaw.
All she did a good job as Raw Women's Champion. Ayla says, bro, I swear if you start to feel sick, eat like 2 plus cloves. It's awful and burns, but you'll feel better if you catch it early. Even if it's all in my head, it works for me 90% of the time. Vindicator says, Mello will make any network go broke. And Piccolo says, over 100,000 over deployment. Nice. Vindicator's like, bro. And Ayla's like, bro. Matthew's like, Sophie, those are marketing ploys. There is still plenty of time to book more matches. Sophie says, did you hear about the XFL and the NFL are going to be partners? They announced that today.
Huh, did not.
Philip says, Nikki the Armpit Superhero A.S.H. Yes. Piccolo says, I can't believe they did another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Sophie says, $4.99 on the network. How much does it cost as a pay-per-view? I feel bad for those people.
I don't know. It could be as high as, $65 a night, maybe? I don't know if they get both nights or just one night.
Mm-hmm. Matthew says, Ayla, no doubt. I always say lemon, vinegar, garlic, and honey will do real good. Throw some cayenne in there, Matthew, and you're doing perfect. Picola says Theodore Roosevelt, and Ayla says it sucks, Fat Lisa, laughable. Matthew says, Sophie, is that real in XFL news? Vindicator says, bro should actually be a banned word. It is so outdated and annoying.
Bruh.
Sophie says, yeah, it is. The Rock mentioned it on Twitter today. Ayla says, bro, Vin, bro, bra, bra. Matthew's like, nah, homie, bro is still fly. Picola says that would be awful to ingest. Home, honestly, I feel for you, Ayla. It was like, home slice, meet me outside, how about that? Film's like, yes, Rhea and Nikki A.S.H. armpits looking so fine. I'll take your word for that one. And Walter's in the chat. Hey, Walter says, Ripley for the win.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew says, biatch, you can't.
If Ash does not win this match, this whole rivalry is just stupid.
Yep, it is. And Vindicator says, what the hell is going on, Dalitha? Nikki costume actually has a belt now. Apparently, they are not giving up this gimmick anytime soon, just like Bliss. It's not just that. Like, they're not giving up the gimmick. They're not giving up this fight. I don't see a belt. She's not wearing one now. Does she just have it on when she came down? Because I wasn't paying attention. And Walter's like, hey, Ayla.
She's a bully. I told you.
Ayla says,
she's a villain.
Walter. And Walter's like, good Chamber pay-per-view Sunday.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it?
Yeah, that Saturday pay-per-view was nice. Did you win your tennis match? Matthew says, Walter, I thought it was decent too. The women's chamber match was rad. And Ayla's like, tongue puncher armpit. Ew. So if it's like, we thought they would go back to doing One Night Mania this year. They could do 2 nights next year as well. They're pretty much talking that they're done with their 2 nights, but they could always change their mind.
Next year, they just have it advertised as 1.
Yeah. Walter says, I'm staying for 20 minutes Wednesday. I got a meeting.
Oh.
Wednesday.
Is it important?
A meeting, huh?
Here
Nicole
it is.
says,
It's over
was
again.
eliminated first, Rhea or Nikki?
Nikki.
Nikki A.S.H. was eliminated first. And
This-
she is done, and now get rid of
this
whole
needs to
fighting.
end now. She pinned her at
Matthew's
freaking...
like, an armpit isn't much different from a snatch.
Depends on how aware and how horny you are, I guess.
Well, if it's hairy, I guess it's not.
Just sticking it anywhere.
Vindicator's like, only good thing about Nikki's costume is that she will never get a wedgie. Because she already has a wedgie. Like, her leotard on the outside goes up her butt. It was like, it's actually a fart box, but YouTube said no. What?
Maybe she's talking about the butthole.
Film says Rhea Ripley wins. Yes, no hard feelings, Nikki A.S.H. You're still hot. And Matthew's like, a fart box? The Undertaker is up next on Raw, guys.
It's not really him. It's just
The Hall of Fame stuff about The Undertaker.
the thing we've watched the last 3 days.
It was like tongue puncher fart box. Ew. Pickle's like, Matthew, do you prefer syrup or jelly? Haha, old Chris Rock sketch. Sophie says, it seems like the last 2 years making Mania 2 nights seemed to be a late decision that they kept going back and forth on it.
Right.
Walter says, for AEW Wednesday, be here at 9 p.m. It's 2 hours on Zoom. Oh, man, Walter. You got major meetings happening then.
Woo!
Vindicator's like, thank you, Mark Calloway. You were amazing, and your wife is very underrated.
One more match.
It was like, it's only me? What the fuck, they block me? And Matthew's like, laughing my ass off. Chris Rock is legit. Is it because you're considered a child, Ayla? Is that why? Matthew's like, you tried to say fuck box? Oh, God. And Ayla's like, no. She
No, the
meant
butt.
to say fart box. Let's see. I just want to know. You know, they do it to me, too, sometimes, and it's really weird.
Did you just type it in?
Yeah, I typed it in on mine, but I want to know if it pops up in the
It
actual
didn't.
chat.
It would have popped up.
There it is, fart
Oh,
box.
fart
Matthew's like LMAO, and Ayla's like ha ha ha. Sophie says there was talks of them doing a 4-way with the 4 horsewomen at Mania. That was before Ronda decided to come back.
Right.
Yeah, see, she ruins everything.
Maybe next year.
Ayla's like, nope. Watch, and Pico's like, AK Dirt Star. Oh, Lord.
I wonder when Charlotte's going to want to pop out a little cub or two.
Rhonda?
No.
Oh.
I said Charlotte.
Oh, I don't know. Philip says, hey, Matthew, what do you mean by that snatch? Oh, God, buddy. Look it up, honey. Do some Googling work on that one there, bud.
Oh, God.
Walter's like, Ayla with the funny joker. She's cool. Well, Ayla's like, hi, fat Lisa. Matthew's like, you know, the wilderness of the muff. Oh, God. The indicators say they think Ayla is an 11-year-old in a 30-year-old's body. Philip's like, ha ha, hey, that's a good one, Ayla. Oh, my goodness. Jeez. My goodness. So it was like, what is Sasha going to do at Mania? I don't know. Something. Maybe she won't even be there. Who knows? Is she going to come back? Ayla's like, you can see it. You saw Fat Lisa. Lisa. OMG. Yeah, it came up. It said Fat and then Lisa. It totally happened. They let you say Fat.
Yeah, F-A-T, I see it.
How dare you? We're banning you. No, just kidding. Ban. You've been banned. We're turning you in with a complete...
Report.
Pico says, I think we're all 12 in the chat sometimes. We have to be, right? Come on. Makes life fun. Ayla's like, I hate my phone. I don't get why it puts names twice.
No idea.
I just figured you did it for dramatic effect, but okay. It's like I had to change fat to fat because it wouldn't show up. As Matthew says, we're tweens. LOL. I don't know. Matthew could say fuck on here. Muff. Fucking snatch. For God's sakes. Phil's saying snatch. Oh my gosh. Walter's like, it's Monday holiday, no mail. That's right. There was no mail today, buddy. Is that what you do?
Oh, Bobby Lashley's broken.
Oh my God, he broke his head. He's got a concussion and his arm is broken. He's like, I can't get away. It was like, no, I don't. Thumbs down. Sophie's like, with Bobby out, that scenario that people were talking about that have Brock versus Bobby take place on night 1. And the winner of that match gets Roman on night 2 are thrown out the window.
Yep, that's not happening. They can actually do a women's match at the end of night 1 now. Mm-hmm. And then call it a main event for some reason.
Right?
Lies!
Lies. It was like, Matthew is a dirty pirate. He can say whatever. Walter's like, they broke the pod. That was cool.
It was.
Was that cool, Walter? What was really cool is that when they did who was supposed to be let out next, it landed on Bobby's pod, but he wasn't there. So Brock broke out of his own pod so he could win. That was pretty cool.
That was.
Piccolo says, oh, was that injury kayfabe? So he had another injury before.
He hurt his shoulder at Royal
Rumble. So if you guys go back and watch his match that he had with Brock Lesnar at Rumble, he, was thrown around quite a bit. And he kept landing on his one shoulder every time. And Travis and I were like, that's really weird. Why is he landing on that shoulder? So I don't know if that's the shoulder that's injured or if maybe he hurt the other shoulder and he was just taking the fall on that side because it hurt to land on his back. But it wasn't anything Brock was doing. Brock was throwing him exactly how he would throw other people. You know, and Brock's really strong, so he can do that. It was that Bobby just didn't rotate enough and he just never fell on his back. Travis and I made comments about it when we were watching it because Travis was like, why does he keep landing on his shoulder? And I was like, I don't know, but it's really weird. And so now all of a sudden he has a slight shoulder injury that he has to have a minor surgery for. So he'll be out for at least 4 months, which could end up being 6 months. Who knows what could happen? You know, I mean, they could get in there and be like, well, there's a lot more damage than we thought, or who knows? So yeah. Matthew says, I say whatever the fuck I want to because my dick is so small that it looks like my cock is being held hostage by my pubic hair. And I trim unlike some of these bushy cunts out there. My God, why do you make me read stuff like this? Seriously. As Matthew says, did that really go through? Yeah, it fucking did. And then I read it. Thanks a lot. So if it's like, imagine if you haven't watched WrestleMania the past couple of years for whatever reason, and you come back and are confused that Mania is 2 nights now. I wonder what they are thinking. They're like, oh, well, this is pretty fun. Ayla's like, yeah, I see your filth. People is like, yep, read the entire Bullocks. Congrats. Walter's like, yes, I agree. Poor shoulder. And Ayla's message retracted. Roberto says, my favorite side of The Undertaker when he was in the Ministry of Darkness, he was a heel. Matthew says, LOL, I was testing censorship. Pico is like, poor D. I was like, yes, I looked it up and I know what it was. There you go. Education is key, my friend. Education is key now.
It's all information.
Is very educated on what a snatch is.
It's all information. Now do with it what you will.
Matthew's like, I'm sorry. It was like twat, waffles, and cunts. Oh my god, everybody. What the fuck? Yay! Oh man, so he's like, I feel bad for Seth. Every rumored opponent for him at Mania ends up not happening due to injury or release. I wonder what he is thinking. Nothing. He's working with Kevin Owens and they're just having a grand old time. Films like Undertaker's the man. And Matthew says we all had to learn what we know from somewhere. Used to be you learned it from your damn friends, but anymore, people don't even know what socializing really is.
Yeah, when I have live chat on, I can read it. When I turn live chat off, it goes away.
Right?
It's all censored.
All the stuff. It's weird because I've had live chat on before and it sometimes won't put those things through. It's really weird. Ayla's like, it worked. I can swear. Oh my fucking god. Hearts. Oh god. Monsters have been made. As Walter says, Undertaker the greatest. And Pico is like, slow clap for Film Nation. Learning what a snatch is. Oh, the joy of ignorance. Sophie says, imagine if the Super Bowl was 2 nights. For some people, it probably is. So it's like, I heard...
The one-eyed Undertaker.
The one-eyed Undertaker. Sophie's like, I heard mixed reviews about the Super Bowl. Films like a slow snap. What are you talking about?
Just saying, the one-eyed Undertaker is also the same thing as a snatch.
Oh, yes. I don't think they say one-eyed Undertaker.
Who?
That's the Whispering Eye.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's It's in a song. It's it'll come to me. Homeboy. Okay. Best songwriter of all time. Bob Dylan. It's a Bob Dylan song.
Oh.
The one-eyed Undertaker.
Pico says Biker Taker was my favorite unpopular opinion.
A lot of people liked
that
it.
You'll get heat for.
No, I think Brandon liked him the most too.
I have no idea. I don't really know him.
He drove a Harley down to the ring and around it. It was called American Badass.
Oh. Walter's like, what was your favorite match from Undertaker? Name one. There you go, everybody. Walter, I want you guys to name your one favorite Undertaker match. Sophie says the Hall of Fame is always an afterthought. Even they took a while to figure out where to put it on the schedule.
I kind of feel bad because I never liked The Undertaker. So it's like the only one that keeps popping in my mind is like, well, when Brock beat him, of course.
Right.
It was like a big deal. Like people cried in the audience.
Pico says, but his 2008 run when him and Edge were battling for the World Championship was awesome. I will take your word for it because I don't know him. I've only seen him as an old man.
Damian.
So I'm not very impressed.
Priest.
Sophie says HBK versus Undertaker at Mania 25 is hers. And Pico says Hell in a Cell Edge versus Undertaker is his. And Travis's was Brock and Undertaker.
Well, like I said, I feel bad for the fact that I never liked him growing up.
And Walter's like, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at Mania. I don't know if that's really something.
He did that twice. Which one? Didn't they do it like 2 years in a row?
Yeah, which Mania?
I think they did that twice. I thought.
Because you said name one,
what
so
the
now you
fuck?
gotta name the... What? Damian Priest versus Shelton Benjamin? What is this garbage? I'm just kidding.
That's just weird.
What in the good Lord is this crap?
Talk about a filler.
Yeah, you are.
Professional bull rider.
He customizes his stuff. Vindicator says Undertaker versus Damian Priest would have been a cool match 5 years ago.
Yeah. Or longer.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
That's the mild Mitch. It's 7 cents.
He was trying to break his own record.
That's hilarious. 7 cents. To write
How do you put in
7 cents?
pennies? A debit card?
I have no idea, but that's what it said. Mild Mitch. 7 cents. It's the weird stuff you see in commercials. So he says that's the problem with doing 2 nights of Mania. They have to figure out where to put everything else on the WrestleMania week schedule. Film says not going to lie. What do you mean by that, P. Cola? Slow clap for Film Nation. Is that what you're asking about? He's just giving you kudos for, looking up some stuff and figuring it out. Sophie's like, Undertaker is all elite. I'm kidding. I'm joking, Sophie says. Matthew says, Biker Taker was cool because he showed a new dimension to his character while still being the dead man. My favorite Taker match, that's tough. I liked his feud with Austin.
I like a lot of his stuff when he was first getting going with Paul Bearer, and he would always lift the urn up and then he would do the sit up. I didn't mind that stuff when he first came up.
Walter says, I'm glad Raw's back on USA. Yeah,
Yes.
A lot of people didn't really have sci-fi, so it's probably nice that it's back on a network most people have in their packages. Film says, Piccolo, oh wait, you said slow clap. And Sophie says, even the NXT pay-per-view, they didn't know where to put it on the schedule on WrestleMania week.
Shouldn't have done it WrestleMania week. Just do it the week before or the week after.
Why would you have it be overshadowed by something else? Makes no sense. It was like, who doesn't know what a slow clap is? Oh, poor Film. As Piccolo says, oh, Film, in 2000s movies, when the main character gained redemption, there was a scene where the crowd would applaud. But first, there was one person doing a slow clap. And then everybody else would be like, oh yeah, okay, oh. We're all telling him what it is. So it was like, there are a lot of people that could induct Taker. Yeah, I'm sure there is. It's going to be a toss-up. Film says maybe all of them will. Maybe just everybody will get a chance.
It should just be Vince.
Film says, well, that is some interesting trivia. Thank you for that slow clap. Just kidding. Vindicator's like, Sophie is a better comedian than Rodney Dangerfield. And people's like, oh, well, never mind.
No respect.
It was like, oh, I thought a slow clap was a slow, active STD. Kidding.
Yeah, that one, the clap.
You got the slow clap, though. The clap is an STD. Can't remember what. It's a...
Gonorrhea is the clap.
There it is. I was like, I can't remember what slang it is for, though, which one. It's a main one.
Yeah, it's
but
a big one.
I can't remember which main one it was, the clap. Gross.
We used to clap at Dirty Skanks all the time.
Oh, man. Thanks. Now I'm a dirty skank.
You got the clap.
Dirty skank, everybody. So he's like, hopefully the Undertaker Hall of Fame turnout does much better than his retirement party. Well, it'll be in a crowd, right? Stuff. As Film says, no, I understand. And Matthew says Paul Bearer with Kane going against Taker was the end of some of the goofy cartoon wrestling. That was their 80s and 90s, where WWF was making cartoons and video games with confidence gimmicks.
Right.
What are you owing about over there? Oh. Pickle's like, better than getting a blue waffle. Don't look that up, Film. Oh, God.
I've actually seen something about that.
Gross.
It is gross.
Ew, barfo. Oh my God. You know what? And then, no fucking shit. Like, people are sickos, right? So, there's like a TikTok or a YouTube short person or whatever, and they make waffles, and they make them in different colors. And this asshole had the gumption to say, well, you do. I've asked for a blue waffle, and you've never made a blue waffle. And I was just sitting there like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, what the fuck? Seriously. Matthew's like, those three really did a fantastic job during that angle.
Up, down. Benjamin doing really good against Damian.
Ooh.
Damian got his feet caught up on the ropes.
He did. Wasn't doing very good. Vindicator says that WrestleMania sign is very
Oh,
bright
shit.
and beautiful. Isn't it, Travis?
It is.
Maybe it'll catch on fire.
It's going to go one-on-one with a fire extinguisher at WrestleMania.
Them says people, to be honest with you, I have autism, so it's kind of hard for me to understand.
Who's this?
Film has autism. Well, you'll learn something new every day, my friend. Sophie says, what city is hosting the Super Bowl next year? And sometimes they pick the halftime show performer from wherever they are hailing from.
Right. It's in Phoenix.
It's the Cardinals, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
The Cardinals.
Just so you know, that's my prediction.
I think it's Scottsdale, but still. Phoenix area, Scottsdale.
Film says, what do you mean by don't look? Just don't. Don't do it, Film. Just ignore that
You do what you gotta do.
Happened. Just go about your life, ignorant and free. Vindicator's like, it's okay, delete. The dirty skink is more upper echelon than a trollop right now. It's the same shit. It's the same fucking thing. Big Law is laughing and Film's like, I may have to agree with Misty on that one. And Matthew's like, double A, la la, there is something wrong with you. Slow clap, jeez, to got something going on with you. Your gut locker that you're ashamed to properly diagnose.
Woo!
Oh my god, Matthew. What kind of words are you saying?
Put your sub down. Use both,
like,
use
wow,
both thumbs.
Right? Wow, look at that. AEW got 3 pay-per-view matches on the card. AEW or WWE? Matthew says, oh, you're a cool lady. Ayla's laughing like, what the fuck? Beagle's
Benjamin might have just done it.
Do what
too.
You want. It's a great learning experience, but just wipe your history afterwards. Guys, do not teach him things. Poor kid. Matthew's like, I can't wait to call you my daughter.
Oh my god.
Oh.
After your life's
ruined.
I
can't wait for my mom to collect the life insurance. Okay, there's a match going on, guys.
Woo! Big choke slam. Damian looks
bad.
pissed.
Doesn't he always mad? Oh, there he goes.
Is it me or does Damian look like he's about 50?
He's always looked like that. I said he looks old.
It's over. Damian wins it in this squash match.
With his anger against Shelton Benjamin for some reason. Sophie says, if you are a true diehard baseball fan, stop it. They must be freaking out now because it is starting to be like that COVID season that doesn't truly count. You know, Sophie, I just hope that if they do that, then they just cancel the whole season and everybody doesn't get
we
paid.
all know it's the players.
Yeah, they're being babies.
The players will not even go to mediation. They'll do they're not doing anything.
Yep. So basically they're just playing toddlers and having temper tantrums about it, which is pretty pathetic. And what's really sad is it's the guys that are getting the high-end pay, not the young guys that are getting nothing. So those poor kids are getting fucked because of some assholes who think they know better.
Yeah, the rich ones are sitting back, and the younger players are like, ah. And that's really tough for these young kids. Like all the newer ones, like Spencer Tolkien and I'm trying to think of some of these. Rodriguez up in Seattle. There's a lot of these kids that are in AAA, AA.
Yeah.
For 2 years now.
And
because of the lockout season or because of the COVID crap.
Yep.
They lost a whole season of not being able to play.
Yep.
And now we're looking at another one.
Yep. It doesn't help at all. It's really
BJ Witt
selfish.
Jr. Who's he going to wrestle?
I don't know, but somebody who's
Why are they setting it up already?
He is. He's Damian. That's great.
Good for you. Music.
Oh, who's it going to be? Who's going to come out?
Hopefully they don't tell us for a while. I want some build up to some of these. Finn Balor.
Finn's like, I'll fucking take it.
Finn was just out here.
He's like, I'll do it. I'm up. He's like, let me talk. I got me a mic. Matthew says, joke's on her. I don't have any. Kinda. Matthew, that doesn't mean she can't get the life insurance on you.
Yeah, if somebody depends on you in some shape or fashion, they can get life insurance. You can't just get life insurance on anybody.
Mm-hmm. They have to be a sort of a dependent.
Right.
Ramit is in the chat. Hey, Ramit says Wrestling Gab loves and regards from India. Oh, thank you, Ramit. You're so sweet. Sophie says, get out of Idaho. Go somewhere better. Matthew says, woo, India is a cool place. Much love, champ. And Walter says, okay, bye, guys. See you Wednesday. Going to do bingo, then meeting, then AEW. All right.
Woo! We'll be here.
Bingo. Have fun in your meeting, and we'll see you for AEW. Matthew
so Finn Balor says, I'll see you next week.
Later, Walter. Ramit says, I saw your What's Up message. You looking great with lovely doll girl. Did you give a What's Up message to Ramit today?
No.
That's kind of creepy. Somebody pretended to be wrestling on What's Up. Ramit's like, today I saw your What's Up message. You looking great with lovely doll girl. That's creepy. It was like, I think she can get a policy without your knowledge. Bill's like, Piccola, okay. It's like, night, Walter. And Vindicator says, some reason Damian reminds me of Dracula. Oh, God, no. No. Not even. Oh, friends, not really. Sophie's like, some baseball players don't want to get vaccinated as well. And Film says, hopefully Damian Priest gets a good win at WrestleMania. Piccolo says, on another subject, I cooked some spaghetti and meatballs tonight.
Woo!
Nice.
You know, I haven't had spaghetti and meatballs since I was probably 12 years old.
When your mom made some good spaghetti?
No, it would have been my grandma.
Oh.
Or my Aunt Carrie.
I have made spaghetti and meatballs maybe once in the whole time I've made spaghetti.
Reginald, the 24/7 champ, has a match or no?
I'm guessing he has a match.
Oh, they got the springboard set up.
Matthew says, Sophie, people are moving to Idaho in the thousands per week, right? They need to not. Stay in your own states. It looks like, yeah, they are, Matthew. Crazy. And Film says, not going to lie to the United States Championship does not look complete. Sophie says, Finn Balor versus Priest. That's a fresh feud. Ayla says, yum, Fat Lisa sounds good. And Film says, oh, okay, Finn want to challenge Damian Priest for the U.S. Championship? Okay.
Yeah, and, we're still 5 weeks away. So there's time for it not to be that feud by Mania.
Yep.
Also.
True. Doesn't mean they can't, go at each other for a little while and whatnot. Right. Piccolo says, take care, Walter. And Matthew says, well, that's promising knowing that your mom, my son, soon-to-be wife, thinks ahead and plans for a future. That's less that I have to do. How are her sandwiches? As Ayla says, burnt, probably.
She does know how to make sandwiches. That's it.
Non-cooked sandwiches.
Yeah, I like peanut butter jelly.
The film says Dana Brooke finally lost the 24/7 championship. Wow,
yeah,
shocker.
Reginald turned on her.
Yeah, Reginald did her dirty.
He wanted to do her, and she did.
No.
She said, "No, we're not having that kind of relationship." So he pinned her anyways.
Yeah. Matthew says turkey meatballs are actually pretty damn good. That sounds gross, but okay. Sophie's like, some actors refuse to go back to work because of the mask mandates. Yeah, and they're starting to get rid of them because, elections and whatnot.
Indoor masks are being eliminated in California. If California is doing it, I'm pretty sure everywhere should be doing it.
Right. Matthew says, luckily my daughter can cook. And Ayla's like, I used to make spaghetti and meatballs all the time. Film says, hopefully this is the end of Raw. I still want to see Bliss. Okay, it's not the end of Raw. It has another hour to go. So you might see her, but I don't know. Piccolo says sometimes I get fancy and put some sliced kielbasa with ground beef and sauce. There you go.
I just had kielbasa today.
Yes, you did. You ate the rest of it today. That's real fancy. It was like, yeah, but I don't hang out with her. And Sophie says, remember the old days? They start building Mania feuds from Survivor Series in November.
What?
The fuck?
Why would Adidas?
I hate Adidas now.
Why would they even try to do something like that?
I don't know why they would.
Are they anti-women's sports?
I guess they're anti-women now. That's sweet. Thanks, Adidas. Matthew's like, I love spaghetti and meatballs. I'm not a fan of meat sauce. Yeah? You don't like the meat sauce? You just like it sauce with a big chunk of meat? Isn't that meat sauce? I mean, meatballs is just meat. It was like a bunch of teachers and staff got fired at Ozzy's school because they won't get the shot.
Yeah, they got fired because it's in the grant. Like, they didn't want to fire them, but they wouldn't get their, I think it was like $1.5 million grant if they didn't let them go.
Well, then they're stupid. If they want to not have teachers, then I guess they can't complain about it. Now can they? Don't complain to us when you don't have enough teachers for your classrooms. It's like, you guys fucked up. If you guys are so hard up that you want money from the fucking government, then you're just, guess you'll have to live with the consequences of that. Ramit says, sorry, I write wrong message. Oh, that's okay, Ramit. We were just slightly confused. Not that, we shouldn't get a WhatsApp, and talk to people on Wrestling Gap, but, hey. Matthew's like, that's cool. We can still build our father-daughter relationship. Why won't you let me in? Do you know what's it is like to be a father you just won't accept no matter what I do for you? It was like, no, you wrote the right message. It feels like, what commercial? They hated women. An Adidas commercial.
It was an Adidas.
It was pathetic. Ramit says, sorry, I write wrong message. Please forgive. Of course, Ramit. Of course we forgive you. And so it's like, I wonder what they would have done if Ronda didn't show up to win the Rumble. And it was like, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. That's what happens, a father figure for Eli.
Door slams. Back.
Yep. Matthew says, yeah, the ones who didn't get the shot were smart, which is why her child was lost on a school bus. So he says, the WWE released a lot of people
Here comes
citing
Dana.
budget cuts, but they have been making more money than ever before. Yeah. Dana's like, oh. Like, why are you clapping for me, you jerk? She has a weird pelvic tilt.
Like, it's still...
Yeah, so she stands to like stick her butt out even more.
Right.
When she stands. I know her heels are really high, but she has kind of a weird pelvic tilt like when she walks. It's kind of weird. Matthew says, I don't see some of your messages, Ayla. Did you put it on live chat, Matthew? You have to put it on live chat. Film says, yay, Dana Brooks coming out. P.S. What on earth is she wearing? I hate that, no offense. She don't like her full-blown outfit that she's got on from head to toe. It was like, and then my head hit the wall, bap, TikTok. I lost sight of what was important. What? What?
He had to pin her. Look at her.
What?
She's very pinnable.
What?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Vindicator says Dana is turning into the Spawn minus the crappy personality. And stuff is like, who's the worst wrestler, Dana Brooks or Eva Marie?
Eva
Marie.
He's going to give her her title back.
Oh my god, is he going to let her pin him?
He's simping. That's what you call simping.
This is some simp stuff right there. It was like Travis made this sound perfect when you were saying slamming the door. Oh. Matthew says YouTube censors us. No wonder our father-daughter bond is suffering. I'm in live chat. Oh. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. It was like, Matthew, I don't know why.
1, 2.
Oh,
Reginald kicked out.
Kicked out. What a jerk.
He was playing her like a fiddle.
He's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, this time I'll let you do it.
No, this time I'll let you do it. He just wants her to lay on him.
I'll let you.
Who wouldn't want her?
No, I'm gonna
who wouldn't want her to keep laying on him? This time, lay on me, like pin me with your knees on my shoulders. It's my favorite.
Thanks. I'm glad I was almost done drinking my water.
Oh, she's kissing him.
She's slobbering on him. She's like, I'll make sure you stay on the ground.
Some old-fashioned wrestling skills.
He's like rubbing her back all weird. She's like,
Dana Brooks
thanks.
Wins.
She's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, well, now that happened.
The Greco-Roman lip lock.
That's how most women wrestle men. I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh. R-Truth. Reginald with the drop kick. R-Truth didn't even leave his feet. Where's she going?
I don't know. She's trying to push him off there, I guess. Well, she's in heels, so
uh-oh, look at this, love. Oh, Tamina's going to say no.
Tamina's like, what
she should do it.
F?
She should do it. It would be funnier. Oh.
She's like, ew, gross. Yuck. Poor Tamina.
Always bet on love.
Oh, Lord. Film says Dana Brooke is not showing her armpits. Boo. I don't hate you, Dana Brooke. Don't like what you're wearing, in my honest opinion. And Matthew says, I don't know what to say either. Maybe I'm being retarded. That's the most likely case. Vindicator's like, worst 3 minutes in television history. Well, they had to do something to entertain you, Vindicator, and make you hate stuff. It's just, how they do it. They're going to show you some more Elimination Chamber shit, though, so...
Right, and we got to have Edge come back tonight. We still haven't seen Edge.
Oh, goody gum.
So there's a lot of good stuff happening tonight.
Totally.
We're going to see a match with, who was it, the RK Bro, and who else was that? Oh, Seth and Kevin?
Yeah, it's Kevin Owens and Seth are going to go up against him. Somebody says, when will Wrestling Gab have their own reality show? Jesus. Nobody really wants to be in our lives that much. You really wouldn't want to be in our lives that much. That'd be terrifying. Be very terrifying.
A reality show?
Oh, yeah, our lives as reality shows.
It's a lot of crying and anger.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Therapy.
Film says, and now she's 24/7 champion again. Matthew says, R-Truth is one of my most favorite wrestlers ever. He's a fun wrestler, and he's also really good in the ring. He's been with WWE for almost 20 years, I think. Yeah, he's been with them for quite a long time.
KOD.
Kids on display? That's gross.
Ew.
Piccolo says, Vin, you obviously have never seen Attitude Era segments. Let's hope Dana never births a hand on TV. Stephanie says, Wrestling Gap reality show will be like that Grizzly reality show.
Yeah, I'll have to wear my white. Just wear white around.
Oh, my Lord. I don't mind Grizzly. He's an interesting guy, that's for sure.
All right, Bianca showing her midriff. Since she couldn't show any skin over the weekend, she's like, I gotta dress like a tramp. Well, you don't look like a tramp, Bianca.
Film says EST is coming out. Yes.
Yes, Esther is coming out. So she's got sleeves on, but her...
She has a little jacket on.
I know, but her armpits are showing. Like, what the hell? Are they just sleeves?
It's see-through sleeves, but she has a little jacket on.
Okay, thank you. You can see her flesh, like right here. See it?
Yes. That's her jacket that she has on over her top.
So the jacket has sleeves?
Yes. So she has a little jacket on with sleeves. So if she took that all off, she would have bare arms.
I get it.
And she'd have just a halter top on.
What the fuck? That's weird.
Vindicator says, sounds like I dodged a mental bullet missing out on that one, Picola. Sophie says, bring Ayla and Brandon and that weird guy that was on when Dee took a night off that one time a few weeks ago on the reality show. Can we not
old
say
Tom.
We did? I mean, Ayla, sure.
Tom
Brandon,
Tom would love to be on it.
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
You do not want to see any of that.
We call him King Dwayne.
Oh, God, no, I don't.
We even bought him a crown and a cape, and he wears it. True story.
Does he wear it out in public?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the creepy parts, right? Vindicator's like Liv should have won the chamber. Her feud with Small Time was completely wasted. Not really. They'll put her with somebody else and do something else with her, I'm sure.
Bliss. Are we talking about Liv?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Bliss is hunting her.
Matthew says, with Stardust coming back, that's the start of AEW talent coming to WWE. A bleat that Cody was in WWE first, but I think it's still significant. I'm just wondering who the next AEW star to come over. There's quite a few that
Wardlow, MJF. When those guys become free agents, Khan isn't going to have any money.
Jade Cargill is like being very much looked at right now and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
Basically Vince might be looking at that as just a minor league system. Like he'll be able to outbid them all. So.
Yep. Matthew says Rhea should have one rear in the A.S.H angle. Bianca winning is still cool though.
Britt Baker. I think Vince would back the truck up for her.
Possibly.
And her husband's gonna be like, "Don't go there." Vince is gonna be like, "You're gonna get pushed in championships." He wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Sophie says, like, who doesn't want to see Dee work at her real job? Matthew says MJF in WWE is going to be awesome. And Vindicator says, I think Matt said, albeit, LOL. Oh, albeit. Albeit. That Cody, probably. As thanks, Vin. Matthew says, yes, thanks, Vin, for making sure I know how to say stuff that people are trying to tell me. Sophie's like, Brian Cage, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, with what's his face, Matt Cardona and
Chelsea
Adam,
Green?
whatever his name is, or Braun Strowman that we knew him as, starting another type of wrestling promotional thing. I don't know. It just seems like it's something that's gonna fall on its face, but good luck to him. I'm just not sure where they think they're going to get all this money for these people that they want to bring over. Philip says, I wonder who Bianca Belair is going to wrestle. I don't know.
Tonight?
Oh, that end game is what he's talking about. The one in the blue dress. Her. Not her.
Who was talking about?
Her. Vindicator was talking about her earlier. You know who she looks like? She looks like what's-her-face that played Lois Lane.
Oh. Like the original?
No.
Or the newer one? She was in Seinfeld?
No.
With the fake boobs?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Her.
Uh-huh. I can't think of her name right now.
Damn, what the hell is her name?
I used to have a huge crush on her.
Yeah, a lot of people did. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. It's alright. My typos are crazy. Miss D is a beast decoding cryptic messages. Yes, I am very good at it because Travis's text messages can mean God knows what. Like, he's better at it now. But when text messages were, like, how we would communicate sometimes, I'd be like, what the fuck is he trying to say? I had to, like, decipher what he was saying. So I got really good at it. Film says, I hope it is in Dewdrop. I will be super annoyed, Bianca, for the win if it happens. So you're hoping that it's Dewdrop? She might just be out there yakking. Who fucking knows? Films, Matthew says, cryptic. Got it, man. And Vindicator's in truth, Jalitha would have been a fantastic English teacher as long as she used her patent British accent. Yeah. Use the British accent and it'd be good. My mom was an English teacher, by the way. I grew up in a household with an English major that couldn't spell. So there you go. Matthew says Dewdrop is better than Nia Jax, everyone she wrestles. Sophie says, and also EC3 and Braun also going to have their own wrestling promotion, so free agents got more places to go to. That's exactly what I just said. Thanks for referring to it, though, Sophie. Pico says Terry Hatcher, I think, Lois Lane. Yes, that's her name, Terry Hatcher. That's who that lady looks like, right? I don't know if it's her in that in-game thing that they just showed that Vindicator was talking about earlier. I'm pretty sure it was Vindicator. Yeah, it was Vindicator talking about the dark hair girl in game.
Bianca trying to do the uber baby face.
Oh, barf. Vindicator's like, that picture of Rhea was very beautiful. The power of Photoshop.
Dewdrop, there's your answer.
Oh, man, lady. Films like Bianca Belair is going up against the WWE Women's Hairy Armpit Champion Becky Lynch. Maybe.
At Mania, yes.
Matthew says Miss D could have cracked the Enigma machine and defeated the Nazis single-handedly. Don't even know what that is. So it's like I know someone who didn't watch the pay-per-view live. They watched it later in the day. He was happy with the main event result. Cool. Film's like, dang it.
What girl? Are you just talking to one girl?
I don't know who she's talking to. She's talking to nobody. Bish is just out there babbling at her face. Like normal. Ugh. She makes me want to throw up.
There comes Becky. Why would Becky even come out?
I don't know. Why would you even make this worth your time? I guess because she won a chance to go up against her, and so that's why she has to come out.
Fucking look at
Oh my.
Jesus Christ.
You thought that other people's outfits were weird. Jesus.
It's still better than Charlotte's.
Yes. A good portion of the time, they are definitely.
I love her white coat, actually, but it's weird.
It is a little weird.
The
but
blue
it's very,
sunglasses.
very white and
Burgundy pants.
big old boots she's got on. She's
The Van Goat.
The Van Goat. Oh gosh.
She's the Van Goat of WWE.
Films like, oh wait, Dewdrop, no way, hold up, it's Becky Lynch. And Matthew's like, any word on Impact and WWE?
No,
nothing.
there's nothing.
I don't know anything, but we don't watch Impact, so you'd have to look up stuff. Film says, here comes the women's Hairy Armpit champion, Becky Lynch. Film's like, I love Becky.
She reminds me of something straight out of an 80s movie.
You made it back to the big time.
Worked her way back up.
Vindicator's like, let me hear you say it, Travis. We gotta hear it. What the fuck is she wearing? Say it. You gotta say it.
Her actual outfit? Or
like what you say when they come out in weird shit.
What the fuck is this? what the fuck is she wearing?
It's iconic stuff he says.
Look at those boots.
Sophie's like, all the stars that were booked for the pay-per-view on Saturday afternoon must still be tired and still feeling the effects of to this day. I'm sure they've got some jet lag probably. In a way, it's kind of weird, right? So they go back in time, basically. Isn't that weird? Like they go back in time when they fly back to the States.
All right. And she main evented WrestleMania, where Bianca's never main evented.
Three years. Vindicator says, yay, big claps for Travis. Delete that with the assist too. Yeah. You have to help him out with stuff like that. Sometimes he forgets. Film's like, put that on a t-shirt. What the F is she wearing? So if you're making statements like that, then playing the victim. Film says they would sell very well. You think, Film? I don't know.
The what the fuck is she wearing?
Yeah. Yeah. Matthew says, I'm tired of big time Becky. She just seems so fake. I think it's WWE's fault for the booking with the whole Iconics thing is that they probably got to go for the scripted angles they planned. Oh my god, seriously, all you do is yak your face up. So it's like, it seems like they've forgotten who have been Raw Women's Champion after Becky left to give birth. But she didn't lose the championship.
Yeah, she handed it off.
She handed it over. So she didn't lose to Asuka, right? she didn't have a match with Asuka and lose the championship. She gave her the championship. So Matthew says WWE loves to kill real talent because it doesn't fit their schedule. Despised you. Dead. Oh, Lena, somebody who I love. So you can imagine what I would do to you. Somebody I don't like. It's terrifying. It's like Becky keeps saying she has been champion for 2 years. She said she's been champion for 3. Why is she making people victims?
Dewdrop. Captain Save-A-Ho.
Is she gonna come down and save anybody now, or is she's just coming down to?
She spells her name different on social media. It's D-E-W drop.
Yeah.
On social media.
Maybe the drop, the D-O-U was gone.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, that's up next, guys. Belair versus Dewdrop. Payback indeed. Phil's like, no, come on, of course. Well, crap. Vindicator says the way Becky and Bianca talk to each other, they will make a fantastic tag team someday. A la Sasha Banks. Phil's like, come on, Dewdrop, just go away. No, I want Dewdrop to beat the shit out of her. Beat the goddamn shit out of Bianca Belair. Just beat her. Just take her in the corner and take her and bat and beat the crap out of her.
That's pretty cool. And the new, you can do a GM mode.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. People were talking about it. But my question is do you have to get is it just on the regular version, or do you have to buy those extended pack things or whatever?
It'll just be the normal one.
So it's like, I'm surprised we haven't seen Trish Stratus back on WWE TV yet. And Phil's like, bro.
Trish came back, I think it was the last WrestleMania or something. I don't remember when it was, but she lost to Charlotte. I think that was her send-off. She passed the torch. Now Lita just did the same thing to Becky.
Ew. Right? Ew. Mom, have you seen... Ew. What? Vindicator's like, love Bianca, but not interested in another rematch for the 10th time with Dewdrop, Dough-Drop. Doughy Dough-Drop, 14-minute break.
Well, lots of breaks.
Well, somebody has to do it. It's not going to be Liv, guys.
I took my break during the Undertaker ceremony because I knew it'd last forever.
Right?
I wonder who's watching and said, you know what? I don't remember who The Undertaker is. I think we need a 5-minute video package. There it is. Oh, I remember him. He was that guy that wrestled in the 90s and 2000s. And...
films. Dewdrop doesn't have any sexy armpits, in my honest opinion. Whatever. Films, she's got the sexiest of them all. Films like Bliss and some of the women in WWE have the best armpits than Dewdrop. Nope. Hers are the best. Complete the best.
Top 30.
She's the top 1. Matthew says, I'm still bugged that I can't watch Raw and Peacock. It's BS. What would be cool is if WWE came out with an adult version of wrestling. Back in the day, Raw's War, the first hour was PG, and the second hour was like PG-13.
Right. You know, and you think that they could get away with it because of the time slot, especially on the East Coast.
True.
You know, they're starting at 8 o'clock. The first 2 hours till 10, kids go to bed. Mm-hmm. Liven it up for the adults at...
The third hour, that's the most boring
They could have their PG main event right at the end.
Uh-huh. Sophie says, Lita, I could have the Edge-like schedule with the way she performs Saturday. I wouldn't mind it. Or she just kind of comes back and does some stuff and everything.
Main events.
Film says, I still want to see Bliss versus Trish Stratus at WrestleMania. That would be so epic.
I wouldn't mind it. Bliss needs that big push. Mm. Since they haven't given her a title since Ronda Rousey's days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, she's back.
Right?
That was at WrestleMania 35 when she left, so 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. Somebody says, I heard
Well, no. Yeah, 35. That's when Becky won it.
Yeah. Somebody says, I heard something about Peacock that affects both Raw and NXT, but I forgot what it entails.
They were being bid on to get to air the next night, is what you're probably thinking of. So Raw would air the next night on Peacock, and NXT would air the next night on Peacock. So Tuesday and Wednesday, for the people that didn't watch it live or wanted to rewatch it.
Right.
I've never actually watched an old episode of wrestling that I didn't record myself. But I've never watched a Raw and said, you know what, I just want to watch that again.
I mean, I wouldn't. You will not catch me doing that ever.
I'm going to binge watch. I'm going to start from season 1, just watch them all. Just binge it.
Just like Matthew's doing.
1,500 episodes.
Philip's like, I hope WWE books that WrestleMania match Bliss versus Trish Stratus. Book of it. Yes, dude, I'm glad we're the weekend for a second time for WrestleMania. Yes. And Sophie says SmackDown will be a little harder to get on Peacock. Philip says, not going to lie, I love listening to The Weeknd Sacrifice. Such a good song. Nice.
All right. These two behemoths locking up in the middle of the ring. Look at the power.
I'd like to thank you for allowing me to bask in your spotlight. Matthew says, yeah, WWE is missing a certain dimension. I know I sound like I'm complaining, but I love wrestling. Whatever, you're totally complaining, Matthew. That's all you're doing.
Right, like that. You could have saved that Dana Brooke Reginald spot for the third hour and then have her push her breasts against his head instead of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Instead of the fake kissing they did.
Just change it just a little bit. A little motorboat. All of a sudden, he's dumb. He's just little things like that. To sexy it up.
Instead, we got butt slapping and weird shit that makes me want to throw up. Film's like, yes, he's armpits. Yes. And somebody says, so Peacock wants the Hulu type deal with Raw and NXT.
Yes. Because their deal ran out. Or is running out. Doudrop's just so strong. Or heavy. One of the two. It's hard for Bianca just to toss her around. One-footed drop kick. Right to the right titty? Left titty.
Titties. See how she doesn't have sleeves on now?
Yeah. It's a weird jacket.
took
Do
her
you need
jacket
a
off.
jacket with sleeves like that?
With
Sleeves? See-through sleeves?
see-through sleeves? No, I'm good, thanks.
I agree, Becky.
So he says SmackDown will be harder to get on Peacock the next day because it is on Fox.
That's why she is the Van Goat. Oh, big chop.
You're spectacular. Getting rid of her once and for all. Matthew's like, yeah, SmackDown is on regular broadcast and I watch that with antenna. I don't need cable at the same time. Buying all these subscriptions for a single show is basically paying for cable.
Oh, yeah. You get there. Especially if you have to buy a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. That was my argument about it. Like, why are they even
Uh-oh.
cutting the cable?
She's going to put her in the torture rack.
Is
No, she's not strong enough. Oh, Doudrop stepping to the outside. Oh, shit.
She's like, oh.
Big headbutt.
So if it's like all the NBC shows next season will go straight to Peacock instead of going straight to Hulu like they are now. Well, if they're going to have their own streaming service, that's what they have to do, right?
Oh, crossbody. Oh, that's a big crossbody.
Jesus.
That might have just killed her. That might have just killed the bitch.
I think she did. God.
How would you like working for the fire department and have to climb a freaking roller coaster? Like in the middle of the hoop, it's like hanging upside down. You're like, yeah, fuck.
Betsy's like, I've got Hulu through my phone and it's got what I like and rotates content. I just figured that getting WWE on a subscription would mean full access. It matches us with Miss the network. It makes us miss the network.
Yeah, but even on the network, you weren't really watching Raw or SmackDown when they were live.
Next day or
when they were even live. Yeah.
Sophie says all these streaming services are kind of like the new channels. And Film says, I mean, if Dewdrop can, well, I don't know, make herself look like Jordan Grace from Impact Wrestling, but honestly, lose a little bit of pounds, maybe I'll give her armpits a chance. Dewdrop is perfect just the way she is, Film. Just leave her alone. Ugh. God, no. That just makes me want to throw up. A lot.
You gotta refresh to be fresh.
Right. So it was like some people only have one streaming service and some have almost every streaming service out there. True that. True.
I've got cable and every streaming service.
Basically.
I'm that guy.
That guy. We're that guy. We're that people. It's true though, right? Matthew says, no, Dewdrop is solid. Like I said the other day, she works like Bam Bam. Something like that anyways, right? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, spelled to be eaten. Weird. Ew. Weird. Dun, dun, dun. What you looking up?
Like I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
Seriously.
Inappropriate things. Okay.
Oh, it's appropriate already.
Is it though? Is it appropriate? No, it's not. Oh my gosh. And we're back. Belair and Dewdrop out here. So it says that sometimes there's Raw and SmackDown was streamed on Peacock Live.
Yeah, right? I mean, I get it on Dish Live because I Dish. Well,
Except for the Fox one or SmackDown because
SmackDown we have to
they
do.
have to do it. They don't
on
do
your
it
region.
At the same
Oh
time.
shit!
They do it by region, which is god awful stupid.
I think she's okay, but the referee's checking just to make sure.
Phil says, go, Bianca, go. And Sophie says, if my dad was still alive, I wouldn't have DVR or any of the streaming services that I currently have. And Phil says, Bianca for the win. Boo. Boo on Bianca. Boo.
Bianca doing her weird little flippity thing there. Kip up.
Ugh. Showboating weirdo. Maddie's like, lol, well, T-Rex, you're also into other sports and such, so it makes sense for you to have access to all the content. By the way, off topic, sorta. What's up with Paul and Floyd and the lawsuit?
Supposedly Floyd hasn't paid him yet, so he better do it before the FBI investigates him, because he's already being investigated by a couple other promoters for ticket scalping.
IRS will get involved too, and then he'll really be in trouble.
Yeah.
Film's like, Sage, did you work on the birthday thing and put it on your community tab? If you didn't, that's okay. We didn't. Sorry, Film. Sophie says, I would still have VCR if my dad was still alive. Right? I guess. I don't know. I still have VCRs, too.
I had one, but I threw it away.
VCRs and VHS tapes. You could have sold that fucker on eBay for
I didn't even,
so much money.
Didn't even think about it.
You're like, get rid of it. Stupid shit. Corey's helping Becky out on the sidelines. Like, oh, you poor thing. Oh, man.
So, Dillian White and Tyson Fury have both signed the contract. It's official.
Oh, they officially did it.
I had to look at that when it
Yeah,
popped up.
oh yeah, that's right. That was supposed to happen today, so he actually decided he was going to, huh?
So hopefully we have a date. Supposedly the latest they can do it is April 23rd.
As he says, I mean, if Paul came out tonight, then WWE's lawyer was looking at the case and verified the claims, or else he wouldn't be booked.
Right, and Vince is going to pay him, and not only that, but if that goes to court or if there's any sort of other stuff, it's just publicity.
Yeah, and it's not Logan Paul that's the problem.
No, Logan's definitely not the problem.
Logan's not the problem. Floyd is the problem. He's not paying...
1, 2, Dewdrop. Almost had her.
Had it. Well, Floyd is the one that's not paying Paul, so it's kind of a different thing. It's not like Paul's not paying Floyd Mayweather. It's the other way around. And Floyd's having some problems with other people, so he's kind of being a little bit of a shite. Pico says, Travis, did you ever follow the NCAA college tourneys?
Yeah, when I was growing up. I haven't, I would say the last couple of years. I won it one year, didn't I? Mm-hmm. The bracket through your job. Mm-hmm. Her job does a huge one, a bracket, and I actually won it one year. I think she won it one year, too. You won it.
I think I did.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's funny to think.
Film says, yes, that Becky is showing her before and Rises like her Emperor champion. And Matthew says, I just think it's crazy that Floyd is sponsoring a race car. The wheel fell off, but it's a peculiar move by him.
Look it. She's got her. Dewdrop helped her up.
He's sponsoring it with what money? Like the money he's supposed to be paying other people?
That's it. Esther did it. Becky's upset. She must have been cheering for Dewdrop.
Pico says, all my dad's tapes he recorded over the years are put up in the attic somewhere. He had a huge collection. Nice. Sophie says, I miss the WWE Network. It would have been 7 or 8 years since it first dropped. Film says, definitely enjoying this episode of Monday Night Raw, but however, still don't see Bliss. And come on, Bliss, come out and wrestle. And Sophie says, so we are getting Logan Paul at a Mania for the second year in a row.
Yeah, but he's going to wrestle this time.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to team up with Miz for it, so not just be, a person.
I always said that Vince needs to sign him because he's got such a huge following that if he was on week after week, look at Dewdrop holding her head.
Uh-huh.
She hit it anyways.
Yeah. But her hand was back there, so it helped a little bit, which is fine.
Save your brain.
Right? And she's trying to be, really, still for her and stuff. That's what you call a good wrestler right there, because she's a bigger girl.
She climbed the rope for her so she could get her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sophie says it was so much harder to tape stuff on the VCR than it is with the DVR.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, but the thing of it is, though, right, is that the DVR, you can't keep it. Like the VCR, you had a tape, right?
I am looking for a digital VCR thing that you can record stuff and keep it. Yeah. And what I came up with is just the Elgato capture device. Oh. And then just run your cable box into your device, into your computer, and then just record it there. Like it was a live stream.
Right.
You could even add watermarks if you wanted to.
Huh. Anyways, so it looks like Edge is next on here. So
did they show Edge?
Ecstatic about that. Edge is going to be next. All the stuff.
Old stuff.
Yep. Films like Bianca wins. Yes. Pico says, I can't ever forget the HBO behind the scenes for boxing. And Money Mayweather had one of his entourage carry a small gym bag of cash everywhere. And he played b-ball pickup games at 1 a.m. But I don't know with the funds if Floyd's NASCAR adventure, but with everything that's popping, it just seems weird. His idea is money, but it's spending money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's trying to become a billionaire.
Piccolo says because Money had energy and could never sleep at night.
Right.
Film says, whoever wins at WrestleMania, I have respect for both of them. I love both their outfits. And Matthew says, I hope WWE builds the tag team divisions, at least for the women. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I just don't see it. I mean, we haven't even seen the tag team champions for a few weeks.
And Sophie says, before the WWE Network was a thing, there was talk of it being a WWE channel. That's true.
I'm all for that also.
Yeah,
but you'd still have to have a network.
Yeah, but not anymore. It's all owned by Peacock or whatever in the States, so it's different.
If you had a WWE channel, would you... Okay, so say you had the WWE channel. So Vince owned a network.
Okay.
Not a network, an internet network, but a real network, like a TV network.
Right.
So he's selling it to Comcast and all those places, making millions.
Mm-hmm.
Commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Would you put AEW on there? Would you put Impact on there? Would you put New Japan on there? Because you already have wrestling fans.
Mm.
They're paying, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? You're buying other networks, but not really.
Right.
But you still have kind of control over them. Like Fox tells Vince, you know, hey, like I want these people or some of this stuff.
Right.
He would have that kind of control, but without real control. It'd be kind of interesting. Would you do it? I think I would.
Yeah, because in all reality, it's a good way to get your brand out there, I suppose.
Right. If people are going to watch it, you could put your own commercials on there.
Mm-hmm.
But their own commercials. I mean, maybe not AEW because they're on a big one already, but Impact's not.
Right.
So Impact on AE or WWE channel would be fine. It wouldn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt Fox that WWE's on there. It doesn't hurt the NFL.
True.
Right. So I don't see it hurting in any shape. It'd be kind of cool. And you could do your adult stuff at night.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how in the old days they do the adult stuff at midnight?
Yeah.
Our time, that's like 2 o'clock in the morning East time.
Yeah.
11 o'clock West Coast.
It actually started on the USA Network after 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the adult, the call girls or whatever.
Call 1-800.
1-900.
1-900.
Yeah.
Whatever. Girls or whatever. And you're just like...
Fun girls for you. Or whatever.
I don't even know if they still have those. I don't watch it anymore.
I don't know if people do 1-900 stuff.
Oh, that's too funny. See, Sophie says, before the WWE Network was a thing, there was a talk of being a channel. And Film says, I'm betting Bliss isn't going to show up on Raw. And Matthew says, late 90s wrestling was in its second coming. The money and record-breaking ticket sales were insane. Film says, come on, WWE, just book Bliss on Raw, please. That's all I ask. I want to see my beautiful Harry Goddess. And Sophie says, when you tape stuff on the VCR, you can't change channels like you do now with the DVR.
That's true.
And Roberto says, y'all have a good night. All right, Roberto, thanks for being with us. We'll see you later. Matthew
Wednesday.
Says, yes, Wednesday. Matthew says, having a WWE channel would suck because it would just rotate content for a month. Having a library, though, is way better. That's why the network could have been bigger, because they could have promoted other promotions they worked with.
I agree. They could have done a lot. But, you know, a channel, they could do things. Have live, you know, new shows, which I think they should do anyways. Another Tough Enough. You know, reality shows. Put some of these wrestlers in one house. Make them live together for like 3-4 months.
Right. So it says, when the network first came out, they only mentioned that they were only doing the major pay-per-views on it, and the minor ones would only be on pay-per-view. Matthew says it could have encompassed all of wrestling, and other promotions could have bought real estate in their digital library.
Yes.
And
here's Edge
out here to talk to you guys about his life. Oh, he's over there in the crowd. He's like, I wanted to come out on this side, not in the middle like everybody else.
I think he came out and then just ran over there.
Oh.
Before the cameras could catch him.
That's weird and creepy.
They're like, where is he?
Picola says, those were terrible commercials. Me and my friends stayed up all night playing D&D and video games, and it felt awkward. One of those popped up randomly. Well, yeah. If you're with your friends and you're younger, you're like, oh, that's weird.
Me and my friends were watching
like,
Adam Fergoli or whatever his name is, and Dr. Drew, the sex talk on MTV.
MTV stuff, yeah.
My boyfriend wants to do a threesome. Tell me about his parents. It was always, tell me about your parents. Was he abused as a child?
Oh, God.
Yes. Well, that explains a lot. Mm-hmm. You might not want to be married to him.
Right. Run away. Vindicator says, Travis, who do you think would be a good Mania opponent for Adam Copeland?
I was thinking Cody. I mean, obviously he has to sign first, but if Cody signs, Cody Edge.
Yeah.
That's a top. That's going at the end of night 1 or 2, with the main event following it. Mm-hmm. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
1X Maxo in the chat. Hey, 1X says, hey guys, it's the Cool Man Bros. Cool Man Bros. Hey, Cool Man Bros.
Good to see ya.
And Matthew says, Real Sucks on HBO. And Pico says, did you know about the Legends House, Pat Patterson, Jim Duggan, Mean Gene, Iron Sheik, and a couple more had a reality show?
Oh, I kind of remember that. Yeah. I couldn't imagine being in the house of Pat Patterson. That dude's a nut. I'm pretty sure he raped people. Like, I'm not kidding. They were dudes, so people didn't care.
Oh, that's nice.
But he went after all the young boys and stuff. Like, there's some crazy stories about him.
Sophie says, if they did do a WWE channel, how would that have affected Raw and SmackDown deals with their respective networks? I don't know. Matthew says, Taxi Cab Confessions. And Pico says, hello, I remember Taxi Cab Confessions. The most taboo stuff was Emmanuel and Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh, I forgot about Red Shoes. That beautiful brunette that was on there all the time. Woo! My favorite as a child.
Pico's like softcore stuff on Skinamax and HBO in the 90s.
Yeah, staying up late and then waiting for the parents to go to bed and then turning into Cinemax.
Sophie says there was going to be a second season of Legends House. And Cool Man Bro says, sorry, I have not been watching the vids lately. That's all right, my man.
That's all right. Well, we're glad you're back in here.
Matthew says the Ring Boys and Pat Patterson. Ooh, gross.
Yeah, it's some crazy stories. They were like paying them off and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
So they wouldn't sue. Or when the lawsuits would come, they would just hurry and close them.
Bill says, I have an interesting wrestling theory since Shane McMahon not with WWE and Cody Rhodes is not with AEW. Both of them are going to reunite and create a wrestling show and bring back WCW.
Dude, if that happened, I would be all for it. I mean, I think that's what AEW's first intentions were, but they kind of screwed that up by just bringing in the same guys over and over and over.
And Matthew says, I don't recall Red Shoes. Cinemax is Skin-a-Max.
Right.
Oh, man.
You getting cold or something?
Yeah, my legs hurt.
It's a blanket. It's a ramen noodle package.
Hopefully it doesn't have anything gross on it. Oh, yeah, it does.
He was talking about all of his WrestleMania matches.
So it was like, remember when Raw was 1 hour? No.
I don't. No.
I don't remember any of that.
I remember when wrestling was on at 11 o'clock in the morning on Sundays for 1 hour. That's all you ever watched. And they had like Vince and like a talk show, and Hogan would always be on there, and Mean Gene Okerlund. And...
Pickle says, that's the thing for all the podcasts and stories on the road. There's got to be 100 more uncensored stories to be told.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And instead of just letting, them lie and not, bringing it up, it has to be a thing now.
Well, they have to try to cancel it.
Instead of just being nothing, it has to be something. As film says, right on. Travis, thumbs up.
Good stuff.
Did you? That's fantastic. You're so boring. Sophie's like,
He's still dreaming about WrestleMania.
Sure
Bring it with energy.
Sophie's like, the WWE did have a series called Untold or something like that with Mean Gene hosting it.
Right. Yeah, you can't do stories, though, because it's all cancel culture and everybody will get canceled. Like Shawn Michaels, when he was in Japan or whatever, a group of them got some girls and they ended up drugging them and raping them and then shaving their heads or something. Like, stories like that, it's nuts. Like, you can't tell those stories because all of a sudden Shawn Michaels is a bad guy. And not that rape's a good thing, but she ended up, I guess, like, her man was one of the triads or something, whatever the Japanese triads are. Mm-hmm. And they put a hit out on the wrestlers, and then the promoter knew them and got it taken away by paying them off so they could still wrestle before they went back home. That's how bad this... That's a true story. Shawn Michaels came out and said that he did it and he was sorry.
Oh, well, maybe he
so
should
it's
be
okay.
canceled.
Well, that's if people...
He should be canceled. Pico says, I remember 605 Eastern Time World Championship Wrestling.
WCW.
Jim Crockett and Tony Schiavone.
NWA, WCW.
Matthew says, I think AEW will do better in the next few months and really start to cause a concern to WWE since some of the AEW's contracts have expired. The roster got stronger. The Bucks are in the way, in my opinion. Are they, though? They started it. Are they in the way? I personally think that they're doing themselves a disservice by hiring all these WWE people to fill a roster that isn't about WWE. It was made to not be about WWE, and they've made it into mini WWE crap. And it's pathetic. But I don't like it. I don't want to watch it anymore. It's like, ugh, we have to do this? Blah.
Yeah, AEW is getting tougher.
And that's just my opinion. Pico says every Saturday night. Film says, please, I hope AJ Styles fights the rated R superstar Edge. Matthew says, I used to love Sunday Night Heat. Real good matches on there. And Sophie says, Raw was 2 hours for a long time before going to 2 hours about 10 years ago. In fact, about 500 episodes ago. Do you mean that they were 2 hours before going to 3? Is that what you meant in your comment? Just making sure.
2 weeks ago. This is where they lost.
Unit.
Riddle, the weakest wrestler in that group of 4. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, he's going to take the loss. Although, unless Randy could have, I guess. But no, it was him.
Which is weird.
Curb stomp. Hopefully they don't keep this feud going for very long. Mm-hmm. Seth needs a one-on-one match.
Right. Matthew says HBK is a man of the Lord. He has repented and his sins are no more.
There you go. That's how you get it done.
Lies. Okay, should be canceled. So it was like, do you see AEW Dynamite go to 3 hours with the loaded roster that they currently have?
I mean, they could, but I just don't see it right now. I don't know what TNT's schedule is or TBS's schedule, what they have around those times. So that's what makes it hard. If you don't know what their schedule is or scheduling, and then can they move it if there is another match, or whatever, hockey or golf or whatever they're having on there, the NBA tournaments, what's the other one, the NCAA tournaments?
Yeah, that. I'm trying to think what else they do. I think you named everything.
Hockey,
baseball,
for sure.
Basketball. Let's see. Vindicator says, you heard it, Travis. WrestleMania needs Adam, but maybe it needs Cole instead of Copeland, which would cause a permanent boycott from someone you are familiar with and rhymes with Khalifa.
Old Khalifa.
Pepper Owens is in the chat making angry faces, and Sophie's like, I meant 3 hours. I guessed you did after I read it. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It just means 3 hours. Matthew says, Punk and Bryan are doing great things for AEW. The problem with the Elite is that people are in positions of power lacking the wherewithal to run a proper promotion. Tony is fixing his mistakes, and that's why I'm getting more excited for the competition. Tony isn't fixing his mistakes.
Yeah, he keeps signing these WWE rejects That's the only problem with AEW is they keep bringing in these WWE guys that didn't make it to the main roster.
I don't know how that's fixing any mistakes. In fact, I think that's him making mistakes. And the fact that he's not signing guys because somebody says something and he gets his fill bouts hurt. Tony Khan is a dumbass. He's a fucking retard.
Yeah, he's
not a good leader.
He's got a problem coming up too because he's not going to be able to sign anybody as their contracts come up.
And if he wants to keep any of them in a higher pay scale, he's not going to be able to do that because he's signing all these dumb bastards that are coming from WWE that are nothing. They're garbage.
Like Fish and O'Reilly, they don't need to be there. Now Adam Cole's top guy. I agree with that. Sign Adam Cole. There's nothing wrong with that. Daniel Bryan's a little older, a little longer in the tooth, and I don't know how much he's costing, but as long as it's reasonable, it's fine because he brings eyes. Moxley makes the most out of everybody else, and he is an alcoholic, druggy type. And how long is he going to stay mentally stable? That's a tough one, because at some point you got to cut and leave. You know, you can't just hang on to that. So it just depends on if he stays with the alcohol and the drugs. Who else do they have that they brought over? I like Miro. Miro's fine over there. Mm-hmm. Anybody else I'm missing that they brought over? Aleister Black. Malachi Black's fine. I think he's doing good. Andrade's fine. I'm trying to think who else they brought over. The girls that are there, what's her name? Ruby Soho, she's fine. Mm-hmm. I think they could use more women. Mm-hmm. But other than that, that's just my opinion on AEW. I'm trying to think. I bet you there's some more WWE guys that I just can't think of that they brought.
Right.
I know they signed Murphy. He'll be showing up. And a couple of the other guys they've signed I haven't even seen. Like Atlas. I think he's the one that tore his knee ligament.
Oh,
they signed him and then he tore a knee ligament.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one. Tony Nese. I haven't even seen him yet. Have you seen Tony Nese?
No, I haven't.
And then they're wasting time with guys like Dante Martin and Hook. I feel like that's just a waste. Who else?
That they're wasting time with?
Yeah, just garbage.
I just don't feel that they deserve like a lot of the hype.
Well, they don't need to be on TV. They can be on Black or whatever.
I would throw Darby Allin in there, Orange Cassidy. I mean, I like Orange Cassidy, but at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, but those are original guys. I'll just leave them there because they are.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't re-sign Darby, but a lot of people like him, and they like that indie feel that he brings. Mm-hmm. So just leave. You got to have some little guys. You can't have just all big guys all of a sudden. Now it's just WWE.
Yep. Anyways, let me catch up with some stuff in the chat so I don't get too far behind people leaving and stuff.
Right.
Sophie says this episode doesn't feel like a 1500 episode celebration like they did with the 1000 episode. Maybe it's just not as important. We have Gator and Moxley, a gay couple. Oh, sweet. Nice to see you in our chat. That they're a super poofter. Sweet for you. Boom's like, I still want to see Punk and Bryan as a tag team in AEW. It'll be so epic. I mean, it would be so epic. I can see them having a great tag team. Dream match, Punk and Bryan. Picola says exactly half of the WWE alumni should be canceled. The entire folklore of wrestling is debauchery and addiction and greed, but then again, cash creates controversy. Matthew says, Sophie, not yet. Maybe in another almost 2 years. They aren't refined yet. And Pico says, correction, 90%. Film says, with honesty, AEW needs to stop hiring ex-WWE stars. Oh, Gator likes fat orange men with a wig. That's awesome. Sophie says, USA Network kind of has the same problem TBS has by scheduling what to put on before the wrestling show. And Matthew says, Tony needs to turn a higher profit. I think it's convenient that Cody left while AEW is going through financial restrictions. It's like Cody didn't Tony's money, did he do that for Vince? No, but the problem of it is Tony couldn't pay him, and he's not going to be able to pay anybody. Like
eventually, there's other people going to be leaving because they can't make the money.
Yeah, Vindicator says Naxos must be asleep, hasn't made a sound tonight, which inspires me to do the same. You guys take care. And I will check up you on Wednesday for whatever happens on particular night. Bye.
Bye-bye, Vin.
Thank you for hanging with us. Gator loves boot to cook. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you like some boots and cooking them, huh? Matthew's like, maybe WWE exploited Tiny being a mark with big money, and Film says, why can't any other ex-WWE stars join AEW? From AEW, join Impact Wrestling or New Japan Pro Wrestling. Pico says, take care, Vindicator. And Matthew says, Tony, not Tiny. Sophie says, so a lot of free agents might not end up in AEW as people thought they might end up in Impact or somehow go back to the WWE.
It's hard to say where people are going to end up until they end up somewhere, but yeah.
Yep.
New Japan's going to be on TV again in the United States, so they might get a big TV deal. I don't know where it's at, by the way, but
right.
Or they might already be on TV.
Right. Picola says the entire Dark Order, let's be honest. Vindicator says bye PC, and Film says, and I agree with you. Think about it, if some of the stars in AEW want to leave, but if Tony doesn't want them to leave, he has to pay them. If he does it, then he's going to have to let them go. Picola's like, Darby is a solid worker, and Matthew says Orange Cassidy is a mid-card guy, and he's over.
Yeah, I like him. He's fine. He can stay. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
He's fun. I like his kicks and his stuff. Nothing wrong with what he does.
Matthew says, Cole, I agree. Darby and Jungle Boy are two of the best smaller guys in the business. Film says, let's go RK Bro. Matthew says, Orange Cassidy is a mid-card guy and he's over. He brings money. I don't like him, but he's carrying his own weight and that deserves respect.
Right.
Sophie says, if Kevin Owens isn't facing Austin at Mania, all the teasing of Texas means nothing at the moment. Matthew says, I meant, did Cody and especially Jericho work Tony on behalf of Vince to get Tony to spend ridiculous money in order to remove AEW's financial power? No. Tony did all that on his own.
I love it, though, if they did, right? That's perfect espionage.
Yeah, but no. Like, so I think a lot of it is that, Cody wanted something different. So Tony wanted something different than what... Well, okay, Cody wanted something different than what Tony wants, right? That's kind of what the problem is. It's not so much that it's that big of a deal or anything like that. It's the fact of that more so than anything else. But they just don't see eye to eye anymore. And Cody, I bet you anything... never wanted AEW to become the dumping ground for WWE. I don't have talent people. Like, oh, they don't want to stay there, so here's the dumping ground for you. It was supposed to be for these indie guys coming up and a new place for these guys to be on TV and make their names and stuff like that. Like Sammy Guevara. Like MJF. Like Darby Allin, if you want to throw him out there. Like, you know... Lance, whatever his name is.
Archer, the Murder Rock.
Like, you know, these guys that, you know, and that's why, you know, CEOs and people running the company wasn't just Tony. Like, Cody Rhodes and Brandy had, you know, they probably got, I don't even know if they still have rights in the company or else they bought him out of the company because they started the company and were CEOs of the company also. So there's a lot of different things, you know, involved in that.
Riddle with the tag.
Those business deals like that are very different, guys. Somebody says they should have called this episode of Raw Tag Team a Mania.
They're doing quite a few.
If AEW was so great, Cody wouldn't have walked out on it. When you have differences of opinions about what is going on, then somebody has to go away.
So they used to let the wrestlers write some of the matches. That's why it was better when it first started. And then Tony Khan's kind of taken a lot of creative control away from the wrestlers.
Yep. And when you start doing that, guess who he becomes? He becomes Vince.
Well.
Everybody doesn't like Vince,
but without
right?
a history of building a company.
Stuff. Right. So you guys all hate Vince. Tony Khan is becoming Vince. Only not with any knowledge. So... he's going to fall on his face if he's not careful. He's playing a very dangerous game. And his company might go down the toilet if he's not careful. And nobody wants that. You want to see these guys have a chance.
I feel like there should be competition.
Pico says Jericho hasn't left just yet. I don't see Jericho going back because he wants to main event WrestleMania and he's just not tall enough or put enough butts in the seats to make the cut. You're funny.
Jericho can do a lot, by the way, but people like that dude. I don't know if he could main event WrestleMania this year, but he could on a year.
Right. Matthew says, thanks to your actually, you get what I'm saying. Like, going back in the carnival days, they used to literally mark the people with money that they could work. Tony might be that mark. Wrestling is a work. In this scenario, I see the wrestlers working a promoter.
You know, and they could because he doesn't have any experience in business. You know, he's not his dad. His dad's a billionaire that built a business out of bumpers and blinkers, and it's like he's a Pakistani, I believe, and he just built this company from the ground up, selling what are those called? The extra parts for your car, accessories or whatever.
Accessories for your car.
And became a billionaire doing it.
Yeah.
Bought the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now he owns wrestling and.
Yeah. Sophie says there are reports out there that thanks to the signing of Punk, Cole, and Bryan that they couldn't afford to re-sign Cody to a new contract. Matthew says, I mean, true. Cody signing Luke Harper, what happened to him?
He's died.
Luke Harper died.
He is dead. Brody Lee died.
He's dead. He died. He is dead. That's what happened to him. He was doing great. I mean, that was somebody that he came over from WWE and was doing just fine. And it wasn't a weird, like, transition where a lot of these guys coming, they're just playing the same fucking dumbass guy that they were over in NXT or WWE stuff.
Like Malachi Black.
Yeah.
He's the same guy.
Yeah, same guy. Different name. You know, I mean, Adam Cole hasn't changed at all. He even kept his name, for fuck's sake. Fish and O'Reilly, same thing. Same dumbass guys. They're doing the same dumbass shit with each other.
That didn't work.
Dumbass clique.
It couldn't get them on the main roster. And now they're in AEW, and AEW is trying to make it their main storyline. If it's not going to work in one company, it's not going to work in the other.
Yeah.
You get 1 million people watching. We know that.
And those people that fell in love with AEW is because they fell in love with the indie wrestlers there, not because it had WWE wrestlers. That's the point, right? The whole point of AEW starting wasn't because of jackoffs from WWE that were let go because they can't put on their big boy pants and actually do something. Somebody says Tony is the male version of Dixie Carter. People says too many Chiefs, the talent pool gets better. Cody was an afterthought. He refused to turn heel and can't have creative control like his daddy. Well, don't let the door hit you where the Lord split yet.
Right.
But that was the point, right? That was the point of making that company, was so that the wrestlers had creative control. They didn't want it to be another WWE. They didn't want it to be a Vince run type company. They wanted the wrestlers to have the ability to say, I don't like what you're doing with my character. Can we try this? And then write their own narrative and see where it went. And it was doing that, and it was doing good. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, you guys can't do this anymore. I make your paychecks. I'm taking over everything. Okay, and you can see the change, and it's dumb.
Yeah, it's changed. It's definitely, the company has changed over the last 6 to 8 months.
It's fucking stupid. I don't even
Not 68 months.
Not 68, just 6 to 8
months.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan anymore, really. I cringe watch it. Anyways, we are back.
Yes, Kevin Owens stomping right on Randy right in the middle of the ring.
Yes. This is RK Bro against Seth and Kevin Owens. They're having their matchup. Sophie says if Cody did sign it with the WWE, they would make it a big deal on their website. And Pico says, I enjoyed the dumbass click, but the booking was tighter in NXT. Then it exploded because Vince's ego thought they could beat him on Wednesdays. And Matthew says, Tony and the Bucks is a problem too. The Bucks aren't that great in the grand scheme of things, and they are holding back better talent. They won't put anyone else over, and it's hurting the business. Film says, I think Tony Khan needs to take a night off, in my honest opinion, but I'm probably sure that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, he finally found something that he thinks he's good at. And you gotta put yourself in his shoes, right? His dad's a billionaire, and all he's heard his whole life is how successful his dad is, and he's never done anything successful.
Nope.
Now this is his first chance. He wants to impress his dad, and so he wants to run everything to show his dad that he can. I understand the whole
reasoning behind the weirdness.
Where his brain is.
Sophie says, I'm surprised AEW Dynamite ratings have been going up and down the past month. And Pico says, I'm not saying they were the big fish, undisputed era, but how come they don't get the exposure like they did? They need to stop fooling around and wrestle real competition.
Yes, Adam Cole's ranked number 1 somehow, and he hasn't wrestled anybody. And he's ranked number 1 in AEW in their rankings. It's like, what have you done?
Nothing.
He actually, to be honest, he lost to Darby Allin. Or not Darby, sorry. Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Lost to him in a match. Yeah, he's ranked number 1.
Film says, chill out, Tony Khan, chill out. And Film says, I'm not going to lie, why can't Adam Cole wrestle by himself without no tag team helping them? I kind of find that annoying. So he's like, Tony Khan's head is getting too big like Dixie Carter when she was running Impact.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a little bit tougher brand to watch. I do like the women's division over there for the most part.
Oh, Riddle didn't take
And I've watched every episode.
Right.
And so I'm kind of invested that way too, you know. If I stop watching it, you know, I'd miss an episode.
Yep. True. Because like FTR was amazing in NXT, dumb fools in WWE, but now they're lackeys.
Right.
Back to where they said they didn't want to be.
Yeah, a lot of those wrestlers are exactly like what's his name? Steve Spears? Sean Spears,
the chairman.
He is getting treated the exact way he was in WWE.
Yeah, he's okay with it.
And he wanted to leave. I guarantee he's making more money in WWE.
Yeah.
They might not even re-sign him. 2 and 3. No! Riddle kicked out.
Wow. Good for Riddle.
He needs a curb stomp.
He needs her curb stomp. And this says, I personally think that the NWO and DX was a work of espionage, especially being that the Click, Triple H, X-Pac, Nash, Hall, and HBK were all in on it.
Right.
Film says, I want Adam Cole to wrestle by himself without no help. Not going to lie, he's giving me X-Pac vibes. Interesting. Oh, he landed on his feet. He's like, oh shit,
right.
Oh, get out of the way.
So about 2 minutes left. Randy coming in.
Dun dun dun. Clothesline, or whatever you call those.
Yeah, that's a clothesline.
Oh, God.
There it is. Oh. Patented power slam.
Another
A body slam is when you don't go down with the guy.
Oh.
A power slam is when you follow him down.
And you fall on him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, let me do it to both of them. Do you think that RK Bro's going to win this time? Ooh,
no, I don't.
You don't think they're going to win?
No.
Think it's going to be a done-did deal for them?
I think it's too hard for either one of those two to lose because they're all going to WrestleMania.
Right.
Riddle's the only one that can just lose, and it's cool. Although there's not enough time.
Right.
I mean, I guess
Kevin, he's going to be getting the RKO. Oh, he didn't get it. He pushed him in the corner. Oh, and then kicked Randy in the face.
2 minutes. Riddle came in.
Hit him over the thing.
See, this is where Riddle can lose. Hit him with a stunner.
Oh, stomp.
He always does it. I love it. He's the only guy that attacks his feet.
Seth's going to make sure that...
Yeah, curb stomp.
Curb stamp to Randy on the outside.
Now Riddle's screwed.
Poor Riddle.
Riddle's done.
He's going up top, though. Film wants RK Bro.
It's not happening. Curb stomp right here. See?
He's looking for help, but it's not there. Oh, he thought he was going to get one, but he didn't.
Buckle bomb.
Oh, threw him into the... Oh.
Kicked him stunner right into a curb stomp.
Oh,
it's
bummer.
Over. You count to 100. Once again, 2,
pinned by
3.
Seth Rollins. Poor Riddle. That guy. He really needs to stop smoking the dope. He might actually do better. Stephanie says, I wonder how Tony Khan's feel about owning a wrestling company. Commander Martha in the chat is here and gone. Says, I got a Delta now. Bye, everyone.
Well, we appreciate you.
Early to go to work in the morning. And Phil says, Adam Cole, being honest with you, please wrestle by yourself without the Young Bucks. Sorry. Matthew says, be safe, Commander. Film says, let's go, Arcade Bro. Sophie says, Impact was a big deal.
When was that? That's what I was trying to look at.
Just rewind it. Not going anywhere.
Boom.
I guess they are very upset about it. Alpha Academy.
They made it a triple threat. Yeah, because now they have a 33.3333 chance of losing. Or winning, I guess.
Or losing. Next week on Raw, it's the United States Championship. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest.
That is next week. Riddle still can't get up.
He's like,
Orton, after one curb stomp, he's laid out.
Which is weird. As Matthew says, be safe, Commander. Film says, Adam Cole, being honest with you. And Sophie said Impact was a big deal when it first started then.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Film's like, no, they lost. And Pepperoni was like, haha. Film's like, why, Arcade Bro? Why? People's like, sweet, at least it's not 50-50 booking. Golflish is good night now. Matthew says, I swear that Riddle looks gassed 90% of the time. Luna says, I'm gone. Phil says, bye, Wrestling Gab. God bless America. God bless WWE Sexual Armpits. Big hug, big hearts. Love you guys. Take care. See you on Wednesday. Bye, Film. Thanks for hanging with us. And Sophie says, so in 2 weeks, that means they won't have that much time to build WrestleMania matches.
Oh, they have plenty of time.
They have plenty of time to throw stuff together. I mean, in all reality, they have stories already happening, right? They, just because they do this doesn't mean that they are going to have other stuff working out. So, Matthew says wrestlers are probably still getting situated after coming back from Saudi Arabia. No more people will be on next. So more people will be on next week. Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. We really appreciate it for, watching us and watching Raw with us.
Watching us watch Raw with you.
We'll see you on Wednesday for some AEW Dynamite. It's there. It's happening. All that good stuff.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Wrestling Gap. Bye-bye.
Bye.